Hello, everybody. Welcome to the StreamYard's test stream. This is the Jaloo update stream. Why'd you even call it the July update stream? Was it really an update stream?
Yeah, we had a couple updates.
What were those updates? Hello, guys. So, things happened. We're not going to be able to upload as much. Anyways, let's talk about... I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing yet.
So, howdy, folks. We'll throw the link up in just a minute. I see Sean Cherry's already hanging out with us.
Yep.
Little guy's feeling a little better now.
Yeah.
He was running a fever.
Not as much now that I'm specifically here next to him, but you know.
But we're all feeling better. Had a blazing hot weekend.
Yeah. Oh wait, no.
Had a blazing hot weekend. And I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Also, had a phenomenal time last night over on Max's Chill stream. Hey, brother. And we'd like to continue that conversation for folks who couldn't make it or who wanted to add to it. Just, spend the night, maybe an hour or two or six. Talking about sci-fi movies and games. Just I'm actually going to be taking some notes for. I always take notes, but if you guys got any recommendations of movies or games or TV shows, I suppose, just not comic books because I just don't do that anymore. They're too expensive, and I want to keep it to something that the both of us can enjoy and not have to be all careful with and worry about tearing pages and stuff like that. But movies, TV shows. No, I haven't painted that. And little guy and I just watched a movie together. Not going to talk about it too much, just because Bruce is doing a guy, a girl in a movie Monday night, and I want you guys all to go check it out. The movie and his show Monday night, because we had a lot of fun watching. It's an old 1980s, just silly. I'm not going to call it wholesome or a family movie because there's a couple.
It's not.
There's a little bit. There's some adult situations in it, but it's called Real Men with James Belushi and the late great John Ritter. And if you've never seen it, it's barely an hour and a half, and it's actually on YouTube right now. We tried to find it on Amazon and Netflix, but no go. But we did get to watch it on YouTube. And just real quick, what'd you think?
Well, it was interesting. I remember very clearly the part where Netflix said, "Oh, you want to watch Real Men? Yeah, we don't have that. You want to see China? We do have China."
Yeah. Every movie they recommended, they have that. Other movies.
We don't have. You search for Real Men. We don't have it. Would you like this instead?
Yeah, every single movie in the recommended
had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, they were all like from China or something like that. We didn't spend too much time, but I know most of them.
I mean, what do you expect though? It's
Netflix, but yeah, but it's on YouTube. So, like I said, hour and a half.
What?
Oh, it's just a notification from Table Breakers.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna open up the invite. And throw it in the chat. Anybody wants to come on in, you guys are more than welcome. I'm going to try and keep it to 4 or 5 people. I know, like that many people want to hang out with us, but
yeah, we're going to have
just if Sean, if you want to come in, you're more than welcome. Anybody else? Connell's already got a spot here, always with us. Just because he's my little brother and I gotta let him in. And
oh,
he's not there. His little thing will show up right there.
Oh,
so
wait, what was it?
Oh, I was just showing you. There he is.
Oh.
Add to stream.
That was quick.
Yeah,
that was quick.
So how's your weekend going?
Good. I did this show earlier with Bruce. I got show tomorrow with you, so it's going pretty good.
Yeah, the show with Bruce was good. I only caught the last half of it, but
It's worth it's worth I mean, yes, this is my show, so I always say it's worth a rewatch. But for those who missed the first half of it,
yeah, and I don't know if you caught how much of yesterday's show you caught with Max, but Bruce went out and threw up a big old $10 super chat for Max, and all he said was to go subscribe to my channel, and I'm just like, dude, you didn't have to do that.
yeah,
I mean, he's been. That was the I'm gonna say it. That was just really fucking sweet. That's really really kind hearted, and it just blew me away. As he and Mac have been the biggest stumpers for our channel since the beginning. We've made almost like over 150 subs since I met you guys, and they nonstop just plugging for our channel, and one of these days I'm gonna have to find a really really cool way to thank them. Do something really nice. I don't know what yet. I got an idea for Bruce, Max. We'll see. Maybe I'll join his little club and get to see all the exclusive content.
Yeah, his little cult. Oh, damn. Bruce is a great guy. Max is a great guy. I know Bruce is the type of person, if you're good with him, I mean, he will take his shirt off his back and help you out. That's just the kind of person he is. And same way with Max. If Max thinks you have a valid point to bring to I don't want to say the culture, because that word is being thrown around way too much these days, at least in my opinion.
But I prefer it over the community.
I prefer the hobby over the hobby.
Yeah.
Because very few of us are getting paid to do this. I'm not getting paid. So until you're getting paid, it's considered a hobby, at least on your tax forms.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. I don't pay taxes, so
that's the only two things in certain life: death and taxes.
Well, if I knock out one, maybe I can knock out the other and become immortal. Yeah, I don't really want that because no. But hey, real quick, Sean, if you want to go watch that movie, it won't hurt our feelings. But if you want to jump in, the link's there. It'd be cool to have you hang out and talk sci-fi with us. I'm going to be taking notes.
The John Belushi movie.
James Belushi.
Right. Because I'll be nice.
It was after his brother. It was after his brother passed away, and believe it or not, he was really, really good in this movie. I
think I've seen it years ago.
It's a pretty old movie, but it's kind of corny. It's kind of a little silly at times, but I think if you can make it all the way through the end,
I'm going to say this: I still don't understand what happened.
See,
I don't get it. I'm not going to spoil it.
James Belushi had this really good movie out called Mr. Destiny that had Michael Caine in it. You want to talk about a wholesome movie?
Really?
That's a wholesome movie. That and
he always seemed to try to do that in comparison to some. Not saying that anything John Belushi ever did was raunchy or anything like that. Right.
It's like Phoenix and River. River and the brothers. River Phoenix died when he was young. When he was a kid.
And then Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, you often wonder which of the two are and I hate to put it this way, but you often wonder who of the two are better actors. But unfortunately, they made life decisions that was either brought to the table or they found on their own that put them in a situation that they were in. I'm not, I'm not pressing.
It's really not fair because John Belushi is always going to have that sort of, almost martyrdom. He died, and therefore, everybody thinks that everything he did was better. but it's like apples and oranges in my opinion. You know, you can't really compare them because they had completely different styles.
Oh yeah.
I don't think James Belushi had any musical talent, but I think he had other talents that make him, you know, just as, you know, interesting to watch and enjoy. Hey Cal, what's happening, bud? The link's in there if you wanna pop in and talk sci-fi with us. Um,
I want to say this: if it wasn't for Blues Brother, I think John Belushi would have just disappeared because he already kind of left. He was on his way of Saturday Night Live at that juncture.
well, he
And
did a couple other movies, and you know he was one of the original
Animal
cast members.
House. You're right, Animal House.
And I think North by Northwest, or
Yeah,
maybe I'm thinking, or maybe that's not the movie, but I'm thinking, but something like that. And you know, he was one of the original cast members of the best part of Saturday Night Live, and you know, he did Samurai Night Fever. It, that alone makes him immortal. That was one of the funniest skits ever done. You know, Samurai Delicatessen and all the other ones were great, but Samurai Night Fever was just absolutely classic.
poor Jack has absolutely no idea what we're talking about.
He's actually seen Samurai Night Fever. I made him watch it.
Really? Good for you, Jack.
And believe it or not, I actually have 2 lead miniatures from Ralph Partha still in the package that is of a samurai, and it's literally called Samurai Night Fever. Those miniatures now book for about $150, and it's about an inch. It's less than an inch tall. Yeah.
You want to see? It's fun. The one thing there's a lot. I mean, I like the not John, James. See, the problem is when you think of Belushi, you only think of one of them, and unfortunately, it's the one's no longer with us. You know, you got Blues,
Exactly. He's got that.
Animal
He's
House.
got that sort of, you know, that not martyrdom, but you know, the sympathy kind of vote almost.
You know,
No worries, Cal. If you're sunburned, our friend Baron is also sunburned, and we have avoided the sun like the plague this summer for whatever reason. Just
yeah, a friend of mine got burnt really badly.
Yeah, and it's just
Patrick Swayze has a brother that still acts. He's still in the Hollywood sort of actor. He showed. Yeah, Patrick. I keep wanting to say Stewart, but it's not Stewart. It's Swayze. Swayze has a brother that's been in a few movies, but you would never recognize him in anything he does other than, he kind of looks like Patrick Swayze, and that's the only thing. I don't know if siblings actually do well in Hollywood.
sometimes they do. One of the other reasons that we love, or at least I love that movie so much, is John Ritter was actually more or less a friend, kind of a friend of the family.
Oh man!
Excuse me. So we had to. Oh no way! How's it going? Come on in. Let's talk some sci-fi.
Oh no! It's that guy. That guy right there. That guy who hasn't done a hey, let's bitch about other people's videos in almost a month. That guy right there.
It's the guy.
Uh oh! Now we got Sean and Sean. This is epic.
Oh, you said sci-fi.
Watch out! We're gonna kick it up.
Oh no! Oh no!
Man, you guys just clapped up the joint.
Oh
So
no!
what are you guys talking about?
Well, we were talking about the Ritter brothers, John Ritter. John Belushi, James Belushi, because we just got through watching the movie Real Men, 1987, and we were talking about the Belushi brothers, but we were gonna steer it around to sci-fi because I want to take some notes on some sci-fi movies, TV shows, and or books and games that are not in my collection because I'm running out of stuff to read or watch with the little guy, and I need a little break from all the fantasy that, you know, I'm in two fantasy RPGs right now, and you know I'm enjoying it, but I just you know how you get when you just get that craving for, you know, a nice big bowl of
drugs.
Sci-fi.
I remember
Okay.
back when I was younger, when I was a kid, that when you'd walk into a bookstore, because that's all we did back then, you had TV and books.
Right.
And you would go in there, and there was no fantasy section at all to speak of. You had Lord of the Rings, but everything else was science fiction. Like,
Yep.
that's all the shelves are full of. Then D&D took off, and I would say by the early '80s, basically the science fiction section was down to 3 books, and everything else is fantasy.
I blame ElfQuest.
The comic?
Yeah, I
Wow.
hated that.
ElfQuest. There was the gnome book. And
Gave
I
it the
think there was
gnome.
like an elf book, and that was
I
it.
don't know.
And
Well,
Conan.
The gnome book is funny because
The
I don't know
Boris,
if you
Boris had his calendars with his wife. He painted for every picture, and then
Well, she was a good
Rosetta.
looking woman.
Frazetta had his books over at B. Dalton and Walden Books and
Mhm.
Walden
Crown
books.
Books.
Now we get Barnes and Wobbles. I mean Barnes and Noble, which is basically we have stuff and books, not just books. The day of the classic bookstore is damn near over.
Yeah.
Now we have to have we have to have everything else in there.
Got Lego now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you.
I haven't been in a Barnes and Noble in years. I won't pay full price for a book unless it's kind of special.
I mean, I used to buy my books from Barnes and Noble, just walk in a store and buy it, and then something called Amazon showed up, and I just buy from Amazon now.
See, I don't like Amazon. I just don't like Amazon. I don't like the concept of Amazon.
Well, they started
I don't
off
like
as
the
a
price.
bookstore, right? So
See, there's nothing. I mean, if you're in a situation where you have, let's say, agoraphobia, and you just can't go out in the world, it's just way too much for you. Places like Amazon, I understand it. But for everybody who does not have that, there is nothing wrong with going and buying your own damn groceries. I might be the last person of my breed, but I cook for a living. I don't want to order my groceries or my clients' groceries off of a website and hope the quality is worth the price, or I can just go and buy what I need and know what quality I'm going to get.
Yeah, I get that.
I've never
And
bought ketchup
I
from
do-
Amazon.
I do hate things like Amazon and like, I don't want to go out to the store. I'm just gonna go to the menu. Yeah, this is what I want. Yeah, bring it to my house. I hate that. And okay, yes, we've done that, but it was because our car was broken.
Hey, no, I'm not throwing out any shade. I've done it.
Yeah, and
I just don't like the prices. I could, if I'm smart, and I'll show you guys a little trick that I learned. If you're like me and you like used books or you want to buy used books, if you look up a title of a book, I'm looking for this book, The Stars Can Wait by Keith Laumer. It's one of the Bolo series books. Anybody familiar with that?
oh yeah, I have
Okay.
it.
Okay, I can buy that book.
Of course you
I
do,
can-
Sean.
I can buy that book for about $20 on Amazon. I can buy it for a little bit under $10 from eBay, and I'm not really sure what condition it's going to come in. But if I go and I look for a lot of books on eBay, like 10 or 12 sci-fi books by Keith Laumer, and it's in that lot, it'll end up costing me, more because it's more books, but it'll be cheaper when you average the price of the books out. You buy a lot of like 8 to 10 books, and you can usually pull them off for like $20. So you pay $20 for 8 to 10 books, but you still get the book you were looking for. Because when people sell book lots, they don't care. They're not trying to get the max value for that one book. Oh, you're looking for this? First, you got to bend over, lube yourself up, and then we'll give you the price. And I've done this like half a dozen times in the last 6 months, where I'll buy a pile of books like Robert E. Howard or Burroughs or something like that, and half the books I need in my list. The other half I'll just put them back on eBay later on, during the holiday season, and someone will pick them up, pay $10 for each book that I don't want. or I'll hang on to them for backup copies.
My question is though, if you, well, of course you're a patient person, you'd have to be. You waited damn near a month and a half for the Dresden novels.
True.
And he's not very patient.
I was
But
being
it-
sarcastic.
I know.
And I spent like 30. I spent $30 for the 7 Dresden novels that I got, and yeah, it was a long wait, but they were in great condition. And
Oh, that's cool.
you know, those books, each one of those books is like $10, you know, including shipping if you're lucky, each book. So
Are they all softback?
yeah. I mean, I'm going to try to transition to all hardback books, but that's just more weight and more space. But a lot of my paperback books are like 40 years old, and we do not have a used bookstore within about 100 miles of us. I have to go into LA, which nobody should ever do, to find a used bookstore.
LA is
Oh, no.
too dangerous.
See, I want to move to LA. Well, I want to move outside of LA, where I have to go in LA at least once, maybe twice a week, so I can be
No.
Snake Plissken.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Why would anybody want to go to LA?
Snake
To get
Plissken.
stabbed. To get stabbed by a bum
Yeah.
while you're trying to fill up your
I,
gas tank.
there's this one kid who was trying to convince me that LA was one of the most beautiful cities, and he used New York being awful as an example. Like, look how awful New York
They're the
is.
same.
LA
They're the
is
same.
so much better in comparison.
Yeah, we were just in Hollywood. Was it last month?
Yes.
And Hollywood is a slum. It is an absolute.
When I went
cesspit.
outside, I needed to cover. You go outside, all right? They were bringing us to the place where we were going to do whatever.
His film festival he was
Yeah.
part of.
And they brought all the kids and all the prize winners or whatever. Like, hey, you made good movie. Come out here and make another movie. And when we were just in the street, you could smell weed everywhere.
I mean,
And
to
see it.
some people, though, that's
It's not
not
illegal.
yeah, to some people out there, that's like walking into a coffee shop. What's
Right,
that?
but-
Coffee?
Put it this way: if your youngster gets a contact high, you know, how do you deal with that? 2, what if you get a contact high and your job drug tests and you don't do drugs, you know, recreationally,
yeah,
and you got to explain. Oh, sorry, boss, I
was
walked.
in Hollywood.
Yeah, I was in Hollywood, and you know, I breathed.
I don't think you're going to pop positive on a contact high.
It's
quite
not going to
frankly.
last that long driving back to.
It doesn't work like that.
No, I know, but you know, at least for the little guys, though, you know, it's.
Oh, I get it. I don't want my
if he
daughter.
wants to do that, if he wants to do that when he grows up, it could be over my dead body, and 2, after he's out of the military, and you know, when he's in college, that's the time and place for it. And you know, if you choose to take it past that, you know, I'm not going to fault anybody for that. I know plenty of people that do that, but you know, I want him to, you know.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I have to be careful. As much as I want to play devil's advocate on this one, I'll have to change my name to Connell, the weeds, the pot cigar DM, and I don't have the energy for that, you know. But no, when it comes to I'm lazy. I like my name as it is. But no, I completely understand. There's a place and a time for everything. Jack is way too young to be anywhere near that place or time.
Yep.
Unless one of your uncles are Cheech or Chong, then you kind of have it coming, especially living out in LA. Other than that, no, I get you. I understand. I mean, maybe I'm just weird this way, but when was the first time, not saying that he should, but what was the first time you had a beer with your old man there, Shat? Any of you? When was the first time you had a beer? How old?
I smoked weed before I did any beer.
Okay, you're not helping me.
I started drinking at 14.
I started smoking
pretty-
weed at 13, 14. So yeah.
Wow. I'm not going to say anything about that because you know, because I'm a dad. But yeah, I started drinking when I was 14, and I quit when I was 19.
Fair enough. What about you, Shauner? When was the first time you had a beer that was actually have alcohol in it, not what you drink right now?
I want to say in the 90s I drank beer.
In the 90s? Okay.
But in the 80s I was drinking B-52s and kamikazes.
Woo! Damn!
Yeah.
I didn't like beer. I didn't like beer. Tasted like fermented grass, so I didn't drink beer forever.
Beer was trash for me, and my drink of choice from 18 to about 20 was Jack Daniels. Yeah.
Yeah. The when I was about 18,
that was my military
19,
time.
when I stopped drinking, I was drinking a case of Budweiser a day and a pint of Jack Daniels every night. And then I turned 19 and stopped.
You know,
And then I went about 10 years without drinking. Then I started again, and I was drinking like cocktails basically, not beer, but rum and whiskey and other things.
I think I drank wine first. That was probably the first thing I had.
yeah.
I
Well,
was never a wine
But that's
fan.
just
it's wine.
it was kind of sour all the time, so I didn't much care for it.
Was it red or white?
Red stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Just make.
For me, it was always kind of bitter. It was like, I knew that it was supposed to be sweet, but to me, it was just like.
Well, man, I could give a whole lesson on wine. I really don't want to.
That's not true. During my 30s, we drank a crap ton of wine coolers in Virginia. White wine.
Oh yeah, wine coolers. I remember wine coolers. Yeah, Seagram's.
Yep.
No. We made our own.
Bruce
actually
Willis had this Seagram's wine cooler. He'd play the harmonica in the commercials. The peach one, I drink that stuff like it was.
When was that commercial? Because I think I remember it.
80s, late 80s.
I think I remember seeing that one.
87 to 92, I think. It had the
Wow,
two old
yeah.
farts sitting on the porch talking about their Seagram's.
Yeah.
Was it that company that had the two old farts?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Bartles and
Was it-
James. Bartles and James.
Bartles and James.
Bartles
Okay,
and
yeah.
James,
Yeah, there's Bartles and James, and then the competitor was Seagram's.
Right.
And 7-Elevens over here had the Seagram's, but they didn't have the other one.
As a joke, I'd always say when I'm short on cash, I need to go rob a 7-Eleven. And everybody around me is like, what the fuck is a 7-Eleven? Because they closed up shop in Illinois like sometime in the 70s. They haven't been here in decades. So no one in my area even knows what a 7-Eleven is. The only reason why I know 7-Eleven is I've been out to California or in a few other states that have them.
Do you have any Circle K's?
Yeah, we got Circle K's.
Well, there you go.
Do you have the AMP?
No, the problem with our Circle K's is it is like Dunkin' Donuts. There's a line of cops just sitting in the parking lot at all hours of the day. It's like I don't know why. I just every time I drive past one, there's like 3 or 4 cops in the parking lot. I'm like, a drug bust, alcohol bust? Are they bored? What the hell are they doing at Circle K? But
that's better than no cops.
well, I hate to put it this way, but I live in I'm the darkest thing in my neighborhood.
Check this out. When my dad owned his gun shop in Anaheim back in the 80s, it was right next to a Winchell's donut store. Okay? The name of the gun store was Cop Com Co. because we catered to the police, we sold CB radios and guns.
Wait, say it again.
That place was the most well-protected place in California, hands down, the entire time it was open. The only problem was the Anaheim cops were so damn dirty that we had more trouble from them than anything else.
What was the name of the place again?
Cops? No, Cop Com Co.
Okay, I just making sure I didn't mishear that.
And back when CB radios were at their height,
Gotcha.
And we did a lot of CB radio business, a lot of gun sales, and it was a great experience. But it was also kind of weird growing up, working there as a kid, slave labor, cleaning all the guns for my old man and all that. The best day of my life there was the day UPS delivered, I kid you not, 50 Uzis. And I had to field strip and clean and lube every single one of them over the course of a weekend. So
Nice.
I was 14 years. They weren't full autos, but I can now do it blindfold. Even now, in my sleep, I can take one of those apart. Not a problem. I mean, not completely apart because I never went that far. We just had to field strip, lube them, put them back together.
Speaking of Uzis, I don't have an Uzi, but I got this guy sitting around here for my home defense. So
Yeesh.
where are we at? There we are.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
Let's see. What do I have around here for my home defense?
Baseball bat?
Sword this week.
I either go for the Desert Eagle or my TS12.
If that doesn't work, I do have this. I have this.
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah, I'll tickle them to death.
Oh my god!
So Shadow, what for your next sci-fi video? What are you going to do? Talk about a book or a movie or a toy or what?
Honestly, I do not know. I'm trying to blaze through Cowboys and Xenomorphs. I'd like to talk about that, but I kind of think I should do my take on Traveler, but I'm not even sure which version to go with, other than start with basic and work my way up to it. Because I don't, I've got a bunch of really
Are you a hoarder that has every edition of Traveler?
I've got basic in several versions. I've got a sealed copy. I've actually got a sealed copy of the original Traveler 3-book box set.
What?
I've got Snapshot. Yeah,
that's like $500 right there.
I think the answer you're looking for though is yes.
It's never been opened?
Never.
You killed it.
The power of my collection compels it.
What does the back look like?
Oh yeah, that's the original.
That one's different than the one I had. There's like 3 boxes for that.
My first Traveler experience. My first Traveler experience was actually Snapshot, which I know is like,
box?
Not what.
It was the
green box. Yes. And I loved the hell out of that as a kid. That was my first Traveler. It was my first Traveler experience, and then
what was the game that had the mad professor and his daughter and a robot? They're on a ship fighting slime monsters.
I was about to say, I would probably say Mega Man, because Mad Scientist is daughter.
I want to say it came out the same year as Traveler. It was made by, I want to say it was GDW that made the game. I can't remember what it's called though.
No,
I want to say it used Snapshot rules or something. Green slime monster, something.
No, the Snapshot rules weren't too bad for what they were. I mean, it was a little war game.
It was okay. Then I thought, you know what? I'm going to go with the Supreme version and get the $21.95. Get Azanti highlighting.
Yep, spend the big bucks.
Oh God,
it had more cumbersome rules. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna play on this map, but I'm gonna still use the Snapshot rules.
My buddy who's in the chat right now, we've been friends for 30 plus years. He drove me to this guy called the Weekend Warrior, who sort of operates out of the Last Grenadier in North Hollywood. He and I drove up one weekend to this guy's garage to buy. I bought a copy of Azanti High Lightning, and he bought a copy of Book 8 Robots. Because it was, there was no internet, or maybe there was, but there was no eBay.
You don't use the internet anyway when you buy books. You go to people's houses and buy their old yellow stained books.
I wish I could.
I have to go to drive-thru and get a new print. I can't buy a book that's 40 years old and the pages are all brown. I can't.
I kind of like it. I don't know why. I just like it. It's just, eventually, I'll get better copies of things.
The staples are almost rotted away.
Rusted, yes. Just like my still wrapped Judges Guild subsectors or sector maps, the rusty staples in them. Things are so goofy. I love the hell out of them.
So when it comes to sci-fi, was it the games that drew you into it, or was there a particular show? I mean, I know a lot of people where they would say Star Trek or Star Wars.
Yeah, it was Star Trek, hands down, easily.
Star Trek.
Yeah, because before I could, I would buy Doc Savage books and a couple other kinds of books from my local Gemco. I know Shauna probably remembers Gemco.
Oh yeah, they're all Targets now around here.
Best hamburgers anywhere I've ever had was the Gemco snack bar hamburger. To this day, I still have dreams of those burgers. But I get Doc Savage books and I'd read them, and then I'd be done with the book and I couldn't remember what the hell I read. But I love the covers, and then I would watch Star Trek, and that just got me hooked because that's all there was. There was no other sci-fi show or anything that I could just turn on the TV and it would be there at a certain time. Movies were hit and miss, and it wasn't until a couple years later my dad would be like going through the TV guide and say, "Hey son, watch this at this time, blah blah blah, you'll love it." So Star Trek was just it was the original of all.
Speaking of Star Trek, I don't know if it's true or not, but I remember reading, if it wasn't for Lucy, Everybody Loves Lucy.
She helped.
If it wasn't for her, there would not have been Star Trek, because she was able to get them into the right meetings.
Well, yeah, that was Desilu Studios. That was her studio.
Oh, so it is true. Okay.
Star Trek, yeah. They produced it.
She owned the studios that Star Trek was filmed in.
Yep.
Well, good for her. Well, yeah, good for her. You hear things, you read things, you hear things. I kind of always wonder, okay, how much of this is true to how much of this is myth, or just stories people have been saying since forever, So no, that's really cool.
Well,
she did
I think she was getting divorced from
Ricky,
from Desi Arnaz, and I think Batman was doing well in color.
Yeah, that's
so they
true.
thought, well, let's do Star Trek in color.
But I didn't really
let's go full bore with this because Roddenberry wanted to do black and white. And she's like, "What are you doing black and white for? Let's do this." And she got the prints made, the deluxe prints. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
I remember when I first heard that.
Star Trek Continues uses the same exact lighting for their set that Star Trek used in the 60s.
They do. Yeah.
Oh,
so the hallways are green and yellow and pink. And
I don't know if you guys have seen any of the was it Star Trek New World or Strange New World, the new Star Trek TV show that has the guy from Hell's on Wheels playing Christopher Pike.
Yeah, I've been watching the spoilers on YouTube for that.
Go ahead.
It kind of feels like old track.
Yeah.
I mean, more so than anything else.
Yeah.
I like it more than, I'm probably going to get some hell for this, but I like this one better than like Next Generation because it feels like old track. And so far, I haven't seen any guys walk across the screen in a dress, a skirt. I'm bad in a skirt.
So you've been watching the whole series?
Yeah, I'm like an episode behind, but yeah, I watch it. Every Tuesday, me and a group of guys get together and play the 1960s Starfleet. And they're just rattling on about all the Star Trek lore. So I've been playing catch up on everything, and I'm like, there's just a lot of dumb episodes. There's some good ones.
I learned an interesting fact this week. Remember, you guys were talking about Batman, and there's actually a Batman Star Trek connection. Anybody know where I'm going with this?
Comic book?
Batgirl.
Batgirl.
Oh yeah,
she was the green girl in one of
Oh,
she was the green alien.
Whom God
she was an Orion. Man,
she was an Orion slave girl. She was on a penal colony with Lord Garth, and spoiler, she dies.
You know,
spoilers.
I
from
have to
50 years
say,
ago.
if
She
I
got
ran
blowed.
into,
She got blowed up. She was outside. She was dying. There was no atmosphere, and Lord Garth, put her out of her misery and blew her up.
if somehow my younger self were to catch up with my now self, he'd be beating the shit out of me, saying, "What a nerd! Why do you know this stuff?" It's like,
I was watching a bunch of videos on the old Adam West Batman because who didn't love every incarnation of Catwoman? And I watched the Eartha Kitt documentary, and that just blew me away. Had me literally in tears. That woman was absolutely amazing. So I got to ask you guys, who's your favorite Catwoman?
favorite
Michelle
Catwoman.
Pfeiffer.
It's a tie. Julie Newmar
Really?
or Eartha Kitt.
Yeah, I have to say, I actually preferred Julie Newmar.
The old girls? Yeah.
Yeah.
Julie Newmar.
Oh, the old girls?
Yeah. She was my favorite.
I,
I-
66.
Out of all cat women, though, Michelle Pfeiffer.
I don't know. Cruz's daughter is pretty hot.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Lenny
I haven't
Cruz's
seen
daughter?
her.
Yeah.
But to me, she was. None of them are actually how I picture Catwoman. And the way I picture Catwoman was actually from the old Batman Year One graphic novel. But
Where she's a prostitute?
I don't remember what she
Yeah.
looked like in that. I read that when it
she
came out.
was a short-haired Latina. She kind of looked like the.
Was she Latina? I thought she was. I thought she was. Wow, I thought she was
always
part black.
And she reminds me of the girl from Aliens.
Oh,
But,
Vasquez.
Oh god.
yeah, but a little taller. But yeah,
like a
Julie
Puerto
Newmar was
Rican
in for me as a
almost?
kid.
Do you ever get mistaken for a man? No, have you?
The movie
Sorry.
Aliens,
But Eartha Kitt in a James Bond movie, or was she just doing?
She was in a
Broadway
lot
stuff?
of stuff back in the day. I don't know.
I think she was. I couldn't tell you which one because at that point in the documentary I was just like literally I was just like tearing up, man. She had an absolutely freaking amazing life.
Why did they get rid of
the
her
60s were
anyways?
amazing. Well, she was.
Why
a
did they get
Broadway
rid of her?
person.
Yeah,
You don't
she
wanna
was.
get typecast. You don't want to get typecast because if you're Julie Newmar, then you're forever, Catwoman.
No, I didn't. Because I was wondering if she got put to the side the same way that Bruce Lee kind of got put to the side in
in the
Kung
'60s.
Fu.
The '60s, you had the movie. The westerns were kind of fading out, finally, and the movies were going more realistic.
Yeah.
Before television, movies were like fairy tale. Boy meets girl. The guy always gets the girl in the end. But then the more realistic movies started coming out, like Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, the Stella one. What's that one? Streetcar Named Desire.
Oh yeah.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? All those kind of movies started coming out.
Whoa.
So all of a sudden, these actors who were thinking of just doing television,
Yeah.
but I'm going to do these movies instead. Or some people that were too old to get the good parts in films, they found themselves on television, like the guy who did the Doctor. What was his name? Doctor something. What was his name? He was the alcoholic. What was his name?
They were all alcoholics back then, man.
Dr. Willoughby.
Oh, right.
He had a
right.
TV show.
That's right.
Show. He was in the movie. He was in the movies back in the 30s and 40s and 50s, but he was an alcoholic. Him and Dana Andrews. Is that his name? The guy from the noir movies. He was in a movie called Crack in the Earth, which Shadow you have to see. Crack in the World or Crack in the Earth, whatever it's called. I think his name is Dana Andrews. He invents that laser beam or missile that's going to crack the Earth open so they can get out the magma and power up that planet with magma.
Dana Andrews, you said?
Yeah, it ends up doing something else, and then all hell breaks loose.
I can't see a James Bond movie, but she's been in a lot of movies. A few of them, I mean, a few of them jokingly I've never heard of. Uncle Tom's Cabin, that sounds bad.
Nah.
But she was in Eric the Vikings, the 1989 movie with Tim Robbins,
Yeah.
Mickey Rooney, John Cheesin. Jeez, how have I missed this movie?
It's not a very good movie.
That's
how you
That's
missed
probably
it.
why you missed it.
She played Freya.
Yeah,
But in the
it's a-
'60s,
a Viking
though,
movie.
if
Comedy
you
Viking
were
movie.
if you were an aging actress, chances are you went to television. Or if you were Joan Crawford, you would just buy Pepsi.
Is that the trick? You just buy Pepsi.
Well, she was rich.
Yeah.
She was on Miami Vice TV show.
Or you died early, like Clark Gable. He was only 62 or something. I don't know. He was
Did he
young when
drink
died.
himself to death though?
They all smoked and drank themselves to death.
Okay. Hey, she was
And
on the
then
Magic School Bus.
Then they did the drugs, the painkiller drugs. Dr. Feelgood would show up. They would
Or
all go
heroin,
to
which was
Palm
big forever.
Springs and overdose. That's what you
Diet
did.
pills.
Yeah, the diet pills, the diarrhea
Wow.
pills, or whatever they're called.
She also had a stint on Broadway. That's one hell of an actress. Holy shit.
You talking about Eartha Kitt?
Yeah, I'm just going
she was
Yeah, that's how she started.
She was triple threat. She could play instruments, she could sing,
Well,
dance, act.
That's how they all were back in the
Not
day.
only that, but she spoke 5 different languages, and she grew up, as poor as you could possibly imagine in the South at that time. Just if you ever get the chance, just take an hour and watch the documentary, and you just.
I'm gonna ask
She
her.
was-
I mean, I'm fucking highly impressed with her career.
So Shadow, have you done a video yet on the guy who filmed the RoboCop, the Starship Troopers, the Total Recall?
Oh, Verhoeven.
Have you done a series of his movies yet on your channel?
I don't think so.
No, we haven't. And I love
You
Starship
and-
Troopers and everything
you
else
and
she
the
mentioned.
son can do like a marathon and just sit through and watch all those.
I'll buy that for $1.
Give your video responses to the films. What was the other movie he did? It didn't do as well though. What was it called?
Starship Troopers, RoboCop, and what?
Total Recall.
Yes,
Oh, really?
Total Recall.
I
Running Man to the list too while you're at it.
Even though you didn't do that one.
When you add Running Man.
Oh,
If you're going to add
wow.
Running Man, then you have to add Predator and Commando and
Yeah, Last Action
We saw Predator, right?
Hero. And
Kindergarten.
Yeah.
Kindergarten Cop. Just do a whole Arnie month. Oh my god! But you have to
And,
start off with his first movie, which was Hercules in New York.
No.
All right, guys,
Scare yourself.
hold on just a second. I want to introduce you to one of my oldest and dearest friends who's never, ever, ever been on YouTube before in his life, as far as I know.
Why start now?
You're going to share something?
Hey, stranger, how the hell you been?
The Duke Emperor Remo.
Your mic on? What's up?
Maybe he's on delay.
He's watching the other screen.
Starship Troopers, the book was the very first book I read in 7th grade when I got to go to our school library. That was like the very first real sci-fi book I ever read, and
Yeah, he's muted.
He's all kinds of stuff.
yeah, hit the microphone button because you're creeping us out, man. If you could see what we see.
And
Keep smacking it until it works. That's how I treat most of my ex. Never mind. Hey, are you still married? Nope.
So Shadow, what's another stream of movies you could do? Battle Beyond the Stars,
That's a good one with the boob shit.
Last Starfighter,
Last Starfighter.
Tron.
Oh yeah,
Enemy Mine.
Enemy
Enemy
Mine,
Mine. Yeah, that's a good movie.
Ice Pirates.
Spaceballs for junkiness.
No, don't. If you do Spaceballs, then you have to do Escape from L.A. and New York and those kinds of things.
New York's good. L.A.'s stupid.
See, that's the only reason why I want to move out to LA, because then I get to play it every time I go to LA. I get to be Snake Plissken for like half an hour.
You get to surf down Sunset Boulevard.
Shadow, did you ever see that TV show? It was a pilot called Earth 2 or Genesis Earth or Earth 2, Genesis.
Earth 2 wasn't too bad.
Earth 2, yeah, I liked Earth 2.
Yeah, the girl with the two belly. She had the girl with two belly buttons. Do you remember that?
No,
that's all I remember from the show. Because they're born in test tubes.
That was another Roddenberry pilot.
Yeah.
What was the other one he did?
John Saxton or whatever, he was in it.
They did like 3 of those things.
What did you guys think of Space Above and Beyond?
Oh, I
never saw it.
Never saw it.
You never? Oh my God!
I could. My TV could not get that channel, or I had to go to school that night.
It was Fox. It was on Fox. So
it was actually pretty damn good.
What was it? I can never pronounce the name.
I think I had to work
also
or go to school. I didn't see that one. I didn't see the one where the girl or whatever, she can go through the dirt. What was that show called?
Which one?
Quack. I missed that one too.
It was a planet, and the people would swim through the ground like it was air, like water. And they would come out of the ground covered in dirt, but that's how they moved really fast. What was that show called?
I don't know. I remember I jokingly call it Hercules in Space, but it was Kevin Sobo. It was Sobo. Whatever. The guy who played Hercules.
Andromeda.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that show up until like
it
last
was actually
season.
It was really weird, but it was kind of fun. Hold on a second, guys. Kevin, pop out and come back in so maybe we can hear you that way. Because we're not. All we're seeing is like a quarter of your face and no audio.
Yeah, we got a serious Dutch angle going on here, man.
Leave the Dutch out of those crazy bastards. Oh! You can do Austin Powers. There's only 3 movies.
That's not sci-fi.
Dr. Evil got frozen inside of a Bob's Big Boy rocket ship.
We can go later in the 80s, go 90s. You can watch Dark City.
Dark City.
13th Floor. And Cube. City of Lost Children.
Wait, that was a sci-fi? I thought that was
Mutant
like a
Chronicle or something. Wasn't that?
I love that movie. I love that movie.
You do?
Not because of the movie. I love the franchise for the sci-fi game. Mutant Chronicles, Doom Trooper.
I got the movie on DVD. I wish I could unsee that movie.
Yeah, the movie's crap. I'm not gonna lie. The movie is crap, but the franchise. I played Mutant Chronicles, the role-playing game, Doom Trooper, the card game, Siege of the Citadel, and all the other miniature games that. Damn good one, Nathan.
Did anybody watch? It was on HBO.
So I waited. I grew up waiting for the Mutant Chronicles movie. Then it finally came.
And it wasn't a Mutant Chronicles movie.
Yeah, and I went, what the hell is this shit? Oh, yeah, wait a minute. I'm such a fanboy. I liked it.
What was that show? Silicon Valley.
I don't get it, though.
That's a sci-fi show. That has to be a sci-fi show.
Nathan Allen, another good friend of ours, just brought up a movie I have not seen since it first came out and have been wanting to see it again with the one and only O.J. Simpson, Capricorn 1. You guys remember that one?
I saw that at the theater. That was
and Maroon's another good one. But don't see Robinson Crusoe on Mars. Whatever you do, don't see that.
Why would you?
That-
Just
that
the
is-
name of that.
No, that is a classic, great movie. Sean is wrong.
See, Sean likes that movie. I think it's one of the worst sci-fi movies ever made.
Worse.
Yeah.
There's a question.
It's
Did
very
anybody here
wholesome.
else? Any of you guys ever watch the old Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon and Commando Cody black and white serials?
Yep.
Yeah, I got all that stuff.
No. I was not born back in the caveman era. of
Neither
TV.
was I.
Neither was I, but they
I
were on
wasn't
TV.
either. How was I able to see these things?
Yeah, none of us were
No.
around in the 30s there.
If you had the old VHS version of Star Wars, I think the beginning of that had a snippet of Flash Gordon before the Star
Okay.
Wars movie began.
Because there was also one I saw that was John Carter, Warlord of Mars, that was not John Carter, Warlord of Mars. I don't know what the
That was a
hell it
movie?
was. It was a black and white serial. Or maybe it was just a movie, but it was on like the same kind of weekend sort of format that
Oh.
the series
Didn't you have
used to
to
be
go
on way back.
to? Didn't you have to go to the
Yeah.
movie theaters to catch these these?
Yes.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Yeah,
For 2 bits.
in fact,
For 2 bits, you saw like 3 movies, matinees constantly. You just stayed in the
and
theater
a
all day.
newsreel.
Yeah, because the serials were only like 15, 20 minutes long. So
Oh my god! What was the first sci-fi movies you guys remember seeing in theaters? Your very first sci-fi movies?
Journey to the Far Side of the Sun.
actually,
I
in
saw
the
it
theater.
Cinerama. I
In
saw it at
theater.
Cinerama.
I mean,
I
everybody.
was
remembers
6 years old. Scared the heck
The
out
first
of me.
sci-fi movie I saw probably was either Close Encounters or Star Wars in the drive-in with my parents, and my dad absolutely hated it, and of course my little brother and I in the back seat just absolutely loved it. But then we saw Alien, and my dad he absolutely loved that one. So go figure.
I think me and your dad would have got along just fine. What about you,
Yeah.
Sean?
I saw Star Wars the summer it came out, 77. It was
Yeah,
waited a year for that thing to come out. I was watching what's his name? Paul Stanley, Bob Stanley on Creature Features, and he was like pumping it up for about a year before it came out.
The first the first movie I ever remember actually watching in theater was at a drive-in, and the only reason why I saw it was theaters back in the day. If it was like with Star Wars, when the second one came out in the 80s, a lot of theaters drive-ins would show the first one, then they would show the second one. Well, they did the same thing with the Alien movies, and so the first sci-fi movie I remember watching was Aliens, and I was 4 or 5 years old when that.
yeah, that's highly age inappropriate.
How did you get to go in the theater?
It was a drive-in. It was a drive-in.
You were hiding in the rumble seat? What happened?
No, it was. Well, my mom was like,
Rumble
what, 50? My mom was incredibly young when she had me, and her
How old was
choices.
she?
She was. How old is my
Was
mom
she
now?
old enough to see it?
Oh,
Sean, you wouldn't believe the movies my folks took me to at the drive-in. I was supposed to be asleep in the back seat.
yeah,
Oh.
same theory.
Do either of you guys remember the movie Murder by Death?
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds incredibly stupid.
Oh, if you like detective movies and you like parody movies, you'll love it. Otherwise,
Is it like
you'll
Naked Gun?
better.
Okay, but yeah, no. The first it was like first movies I remember seeing was Alien. Then the second one was He-Man. Then maybe Ninja Turtles somewhere in there. Are we gonna try this again?
He's got a headset.
What's up, buddy? Can you hear
Camera
us?
looks better.
Yeah, but you still got the weirdest angle.
He's on some outposts.
Yeah, never mind. I can't say what I was thinking. The Superman sci-fi. Yeah, Superman is kind of it is more sci-fi than
Absolutely.
this.
Hold on.
Anything else?
I'm gonna go get something. Oh, hello, Grim. I'm just gonna
Here, let me get out of the way for you. Don't do that. You'll
break my
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Going underneath the table is just weird from any angle.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
he tried it once, and it was painful to say the least.
yeah,
What was that, Duke?
yes, it was.
No, my folks didn't do the sci-fi thing. They were old people when they had me. My mom was 47, so
Gotcha.
so they were old folks, and it wasn't. I think it wasn't until I was about 10 years old my dad joined the Random House Science Fiction Book Club for whatever damn reason.
Oh, I love
Ooh.
that. God,
And we would that's it. That was it for me, man. I started reading those as soon as he got them in.
I also missed Columbia for
The music. That was such a scam. All that stuff was such a scam, but you did get
You know
stuff.
what?
The books were so cheap.
You know what? You know what though? It really, if you knew how to play the system, and I learned real early, I had an absolutely epic record collection because once you got to a certain point, they started making it easy.
Month.
No. I actually stood with it, fulfilled my contract, and they started sending me these coupons like crazy. I was paying like sometimes like $1 or $2 for great albums back in the day. I had literally hundreds, if not 500 albums by the time I was done.
Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas special
No.
albums.
They were legit albums.
Oh no, they were.
They're legit.
The books were
My
legit
dad did
too.
the Time Life,
but they were just
records
really,
and stuff.
really cheaply made books. They were just not very well made.
I never had that problem with the books either. I'm looking at some on my bookshelf right now. I got what it was is they were usually like anthologies. My Elric collection is from them. My Amber, the first 5 books are that way, and I've got them. 40 years later, they're still on my shelf. But it was usually it was. What the hell's wrong? Oh, he put the volume on this. Someone's echoing. You guys hear that?
Nope.
I don't hear an echo.
Nope.
I'm hearing my own echo.
Well, you got
It's you again.
Headset. The only problem is Duke is trying to talk and I don't hear him.
Yeah, we can't hear anything he's saying.
Yeah, I don't know what's up
He's
with
on
that.
a different internet.
Different
He's using
internet?
something else.
Is he on AOL?
He's stealing cable from a neighbor.
He's in an alternate dimension internet.
You
So
know
what
what?
do you guys think about Our Man Flint and the Dean Martin movie
Those were all
and
fun.
the James Coburn movies where they play these basically they're all playing Burt Bacharach and with guns and stuff and girls in bikinis everywhere.
It's all the fake James Bonds. Yeah.
And then Austin Powers made fun of all those movies.
He did.
I would say some of those had some sci-fi in them.
Yeah, sure they did.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it depends on your definition of sci-fi. For me, it really is just all it takes for me to include it as sci-fi is technological devices that are farther ahead than we really are. Yeah,
Lasers attached to sharks' foreheads.
that works. That works. Fembots, Bionic Man was sci-fi.
Ooh.
So
I mean, you could argue that James Bond is sci-fi if you add in Goldfinger and the other guy and the other guy with their
the moment you
contraptions.
the moment you add into this concept of sci-fi is any technology that is being used is outside of the modern what we don't have, like you said, lasers on freaking shark, the flying car and all that stuff. Then James Bond sci-fi. That makes a lot. Granted, though, that makes a lot of things sci-fi.
And Moonraker had like 2 or 3 space shuttles taking off at the same time. To me, that's science fiction right there.
Was Thundercats? Wait. Was Thundercats sci-fi?
Any of the
hell yeah.
James Bonds were
Thundercats.
sci-fi.
The beginning of the show is when it shows the introductions of each character, and they're going Thundercats, oh! And then that one guy comes out, and there's like lightning coming off of him.
That was mysticism.
That was sci-fi right there. The guy, he looked like a mummy, sort of, and he had like lightning coming off his forehead.
Mumra.
When I would see that, I'm like, okay, good. The introduction's almost over because I only watched the introduction. I never watched the actual show.
I never watched.
Sorry, Duke.
I would flip the channel. Like if it was G.I. Joe, I'd flip the channel.
See,
If it was any Filmation cartoon, even if it was a Star Trek cartoon, I'd flip the channel.
wait. Filmation. That's the Jets. No, that's not the Jetsons. Is that the Jet? No, that's Space Ghost. Space Ghost was that wasn't that bad. I think that was.
There was a Space Ghost in the 80s. That was a good one. The Space Ghost in the 60s was
G.I. Joes and all those and He-Man. All grown-ups knew that junk was just there to sell toys. It was all toys.
I was a kid when He-Man came out.
You know what? I didn't watch any of that stuff, and I was just out of my teens. So,
well, I think my favorite cartoons back in the day, so, back when I was like little, would have to been Thundercats, Ninja Turtles. I mean, at that time, who didn't like Ninja Turtles? It was. Well, you were a grown up. It doesn't count. I was a kid. And what was the other one?
I like Cerebus or whatever that thing was called. That aardvark thing.
Oh, dude, I absolutely love that comic book.
I don't know if it was ever a cartoon, but it was a comic book.
It was a good comic.
Oh no, it wasn't a cartoon. I have 3 of the anthologies. The first 3, like anthologies of that comic book.
But to me, Ninja Turtles came after that. It's like it copied this aardvark cartoon. That's all I ever thought of when I would see turtles running around in a sewer.
That's fair. I mean, I was also a big Ninja Turtle fan. Not Ninja Turtles. X-Men. RoboCop.
How come you don't mention RoboCop? Oh, Rick. That's all she would say in the whole show. Oh, Rick.
I know RoboCop got his own cartoon.
He's talking Robotech.
Robotech? I've never seen it.
The Macross saga.
Min-May was annoying as fuck. She was so annoying.
Min-May was naked in one of the episodes, so I'm like, okay, I'll give this series a shot. I'll watch the rest of it. And the rest of the show is talking heads constantly.
A friend of mine had the novelizations, and I read those. Read all of them.
Yeah, me too.
She was annoying. She was annoying as crap in those too.
You know what though? There was one book in that series though, Sean, in the paperbacks where I forget that evil human general had her freaking crucified in the ship. You remember that part? Yeah, Min-May was not crucified, but on a rack, an X-shaped rack, where he basically was raping her on the bridge of his ship.
I didn't know that.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
They didn't show that on the kids' cartoon.
I mean, if that's your thing, for me growing up, the anime-wise, I used to run home from school. I was 13 years old, and I would run along the riverbed to get back home so that I could be in time for Star Blazers that was actually being broadcast from Golden West College on UHF channel, I think 52. And if I was even 1 minute late, I would be bummed. And all I would ever miss was that damn song that song sucked. The intro song. But I absolutely love that part.
Every time I hear that song, I would flip the channel.
I was 15 when that Star Blazers came out, and I watched the crap out of it.
Did you watch it on UHF?
No, I watched it. We had cable actually, so I watched it on cable.
Oh,
lucky!
Cable back then was a big deal.
Well,
yeah, channel 100. Oh, I'm telling.
I'm telling you what, our cable was from other states, from of California. Basically, we watched a lot of San Francisco stations.
I heard that in Nevada, the state controls the cable television, so you're kind of stuck with what the state can afford to show on cable.
That has to be a lot of brothel commercials and casino commercials.
It's like, yeah, all the commercials are go to your casino now.
Check out the Rubber Ranch.
Curious thing to bring it back into gaming, the Star Blazers cartoon actually got me to buy High Guard. And
Star Blazers.
Yeah, I could see that. I didn't even know about
the one I'm thinking about
that at the time. I don't think maybe because between 13 and 14 is when I discovered D&D at my local game shop, And it wasn't long after that I then discovered Traveler, which is weird because I was hanging out at this game store and working like Connell does as a paid DM, and I I was
you were a
curious
paid
about
DM. You were a paid DM.
Yeah, from the age of 13 to about 17. Yeah.
I hate
And-
you now.
I hate them all too, John.
What did I do? You see these lights? You see this light? It keeps them on. That's the only thing I get out of it.
Okay.
I was actually I was curious about Travelers, so I asked the owner, Bob Dreyer from Bob's Comics, what the what is it, and he said, go talk to this guy. He's another paid DM, and he'll teach you how to play Traveler. What did he try to teach me instead? Space opera.
Oh,
I was going to say either space opera or aftermath, or
And I'm like,
Gamma World or something.
yeah.
And I hated it. And I went and talked to Bob, and I'm like, that he didn't want to teach me travel. He wanted to teach me space opera. And he's like, oh wow, okay. Well, next weekend so and so is going to come in, and he's actually going to have a class, and he'll teach Traveler. The first time I rolled up my first character, I was like, I fell in love with that game.
You had classes at a comic book shop on how to role play games?
I'm
Not how to
jealous.
learn, not how to play, but how to. Well, not how to play, but how to, learn how to play the game, not how to role play.
I had to take a train to go downtown to Game Town, no parking.
You sound like a boomer here. I mean, I'm just saying.
Naked in the snow, walk the rest of the way, get there,
No shoes.
and they're playing some crap ass thing called OD&D with the stupid 3 brown books, and they parted out the games, and they were selling each book for $6 each. It's like, this is
Did anybody catch was that a cartoon called Brave Star?
Yeah. Why did you bring that up?
I thought the robot house was the robot
Why?
horse was kind of interesting.
Oh,
I think I had that toy as a kid.
No,
All right, guys,
but-
I'll be right back.
that
The
was
little
a
guy, I think,
Filmation.
is falling asleep. So you guys just stay here. I'll be right back.
He fell asleep. The
We're
other
not
half
going
of the
to-
show fell asleep.
What kind of teenager is he? It's
You know, the best,
He is,
the
he is going to
last,
school, so
yeah,
the
true.
last best Filmation anything was Flash Gordon.
that was really pretty well done. I was really surprised.
One
when
day
that
I'm
came
gonna rewatch that, maybe do reviews on my channel of it or something.
out. I remember watching that, and I'm not expecting much. I said, "Well, the animation on this is actually pretty
It
decent."
was combination animation and some CG tracing going on or something.
Was it? Do you think there was some CG in that? It was kind of early for that. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
What era? I mean, when was this?
84-ish.
Something like that. Yeah.
I always thought. I mean, I always figured like up until like late '90s, everything was still pretty much pencil drawn cartoons. I mean, except for like what was that one Reboot, which was a
I was
weird.
just gonna say Reboot. There was like 2 versions of that cartoon.
The original is the best.
Yeah, the original one had most of the characters and a decent story. But there was the bad guy was called Megabit or Gigabyte or
Megabitch? No, that's not right.
and then the girl was called Hexadecimal or something. I
Yeah,
forget.
yeah, no, and the users, the actual humans, were the bad guys, and that was an anime. It was really weird.
I don't remember.
I remember.
The girl had one big boob instead of 2 separate boobs. It was one big boob.
Nothing wrong with that.
Or she could have had 3 boobs, like Total Recall, and it's just how it's set up.
They were just pushed together.
Yeah, so that's why there was no gap in the middle. It was just like 3 pushed together.
When did Reboot come out though? Was that early 90s?
Reboot?
I want
Yeah,
to say it was late 80s.
Yeah,
Late
same here.
80s. So what else was there? I want to say in 88.
94.
Toy Story.
94.
Okay, Tin Toy. When did Tin Toy come out?
10.
That was like the first Pixar cartoon. Or
Tin
Knick Knack. Do you remember what year
I-
Knick Knack came out?
I remember that. I don't remember when it came out though.
That was the snowman inside the snow globe.
Yeah.
And there's the hot chick with the big boobs and the bikini.
I see where this is going.
She wants him to come out of his snowball thing, and he's trying his best. He's doing the explosive bolts, trying to get out of the thing. And she's like,
how did I miss this?
Did
I miss this, or I just don't remember it?
You missed it.
I don't know.
They're mostly.
And then there's Tin Toy, which is like the very, very first one.
Iron Giant, yeah, that's a good one.
Tin Toys, like the new toy brought home to the baby to play with, and all the babies just running around half naked, drooling on everything and slobbering on everything, and the Tin Toy's getting all grossed out by this baby. So the Tin Toy runs underneath the sofa, and all the other toys are hiding under the sofa.
Yeah, they are.
Shauna, did you have a traumatic childhood? I'm just saying, between hiding and big boobs, I just have this feeling.
I had a glorious childhood.
I'm about to say,
remember, I grew up from the 60s to the 80s.
I was a child in the 70s. I had a glorious childhood. That's what I was
amazing. People. Before the Clinton era, everything was amazing before the Clintons happened.
Well, my friends asked me what president was born what president was office when you were born. I'm like, Reagan, I think, and they're like, dude, you're old. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Most people don't even know who Reagan is.
He is
nobody knows who Carter is. Carter was the one who.
I remember Carter. I remember Ford.
Carter was a weird thing.
He had to go ask his wife permission for everything he did, even as a president.
He was weird. He was helping the country go downhill.
He was.
And then Reagan showed up and turned everything around.
Reagan during his last term was sending. I don't know if it's true or not, but I always heard this. Send Russia black jelly beans for some odd fucking reason.
Well, the media just makes up stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I don't
know if you guys saw my son's message at 10:31. His mom just gave him her magic potion of garlic, honey, and onions, and just all kinds of weird nastiness. So he's going to stay downstairs. He might join us. On the DL.
You're upstairs? You're upstairs?
Yeah. I've got an upstairs studio that I finally finagled after almost 2 years of this channel doing it at the dinner table, and it made a huge difference.
Doesn't she know if she's going to give him all that stuff? The honey's not the only thing that's going to work. You got to put whiskey in there too.
Right.
We actually don't have any alcohol in the house unless it's wine that her friend brings over every once in a while. I stopped drinking about 11 years ago on his birthday. So I just...
My brother was the same way, but they'd still have whiskey so they could make cough syrup, whiskey and honey.
Lava Lord?
Yeah, that's
Jack. That's him. Do you guys remember Bionicle?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. The Legos?
I got younger brothers, so yeah.
They had this character that would surfboard on lava, and he was just a little tiny kid. So he's had that account or whatever since he was a tiny little guy, and he'll argue with me about it, but it was cute as hell watching him. Who did that song? "I'll Move Along"?
Oh God, I can hear it in my head.
Yeah, they had that song was to the video. I'll try and find it one of these days. It was kind of cool for him as a kid, you know. And I would watch that same video like 50 times in a day before he was actually in school. That's how long it's been a thing for him.
Oh, I could freaking hear in my head. Damn you, Shadow.
I'm sorry, bud.
Oh my God, my brother was addicted to that show. That and Power Rangers.
The Lego Bionicle and Hero Factory were like his first real toys, and we've got tons of. I bought him everything that they made, and it does. Legos do something to kids that's just absolutely stunning to watch. He could put together anything with those instructions, and I mean, this was at age 3. He just, I'm just like, holy crap! I mean, moving gears and hinges and all kinds of crap, and it just expanded his mind like nothing else I've ever seen in a kid. So if you guys ever have kids or nephews or you know whatever, and you want to watch them just be the best they can be, you know, mathematically, etc. Those toys are like magic, smart pills.
I'm trying to. Is that from Dawn of the Dead? His icon?
I don't know. I think he just made it up.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Sci-fi wise, I like sci-fi. I used to.
Do you actually play any sci-fi games though, Connell?
The only sci-fi game I play as of right now is that Starfleet, and it's not a role-playing game. It is a battle sim, but it's fun. You know, it is really fun. I do that in Babylon 5 and a few other ones, but none of them are exactly RPG games. They were just blowing each other up with in spaceships. And it's just, as I tried to explain to my mom, it's fast-paced chess, just from a different angle.
Fast? Did you just say fast-paced?
Fast-paced.
That game takes forever.
It does not. Now if you get a bunch of people that know what the hell they're doing.
Which game?
Oh, okay.
Starfleet. The Starfleet game that came out in the 60s.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
It's all right. But no, if you get like 3 or 4 people that actually know what they're doing, the game moves fairly fast. We can probably knock out 4 turns.
What?
And
Starfleet in the 60s.
Are you thinking Starfleet Battles?
Yes, possibly.
That was 78.
Yep.
A decade off, man.
Oh, you know, I wasn't even born, so
there weren't a whole lot of Star Trek anything in the 60s except for models.
There was
I bet the 1970s RPGs. John and I, was it 80? The Heritage one.
What?
Remember we were talking about
RPG Star Trek?
Yeah.
Oh, that thing. That thing was 75.
Yeah, I've got it. It's
like the first sci-fi RPG ever made, something like that.
I mean, there is a possibility with this game that you could actually run campaigns, RPG campaigns using this game, but nobody wants to. Everybody just wants to take what race they want to do and just blow the shit out of each other.
Well, that one is mostly just, it's like Ogre, but in space. You're shooting at each other, and you just chicken scratching off your armors as they're
and your shields and stuff.
Your shields or whatever. And then your missile, your photon torpedoes. You're probably running out of those things.
Fucking all I have to say is the Federation cheats.
Yeah, I have the original Starfleet in the little zipper pocket pouches. Right. I have a bunch of those. I've also got the original Ogre and GEV, but I've also got the Heritage little box games that had Grav Armor and Dragon Horde and Barbarian Prince. All those little tiny little games. Yeah. All those little games were just amazing. In my high school, at lunchtime, you could find 10 different lunch tables with kids, literally playing those little fold up. You could fold them in your back pocket kind of games with the little cardboard counters, Ogre and Chitin, and I have almost all of them now. I don't have any of the historical ones because I was never a big historical guy. But those little games really packed a punch. Warp War, Sticks and Stones.
There was the old Chitin that was pretty good about the bugs, and then there was the one, the post-apocalyptic one where your robot factory sending out robots to kill each other, and
rivets.
Yep. And then there was another one where you actually fought around a donut-shaped moon. The map was really bizarre, and you were mining ships. You were going after mining claims around this thing and attacking each other. Pretty cool games.
And I even have Some of the Task Force Games ones, those are pretty cool too. And God, all those little games were just so well done for so little information. And now, if you buy a game, it's this freaking thick, and it's going to take you a month to read through the book before you can actually, have some sort of idea of how to actually play the dang game.
Well, it's really bizarre. It costs so much to make games anymore. I'm really surprised with Pocket Games. I don't know why. I guess people can make an app for cheaper. Is that the thing is? It's
Yeah.
so expensive to produce something like that.
Yeah.
It sucks too, because there are probably a lot of kids that today could, at high school level, literally pull one out of their backpack and play a game of Ogre over a lunch break.
Nope.
But
happen.
I know it won't happen.
Those days are gone. Just like no one plays cribbage, or no one plays. No one's going to play bridge. No one plays
bridge. I can play bridge. I know how to play bridge.
What sort of games are there on the phone that they play with each other? See, that's the thing. If they're going to play a game, they'll pull their phone out.
Pokemon Go.
Or Wordle or whatever the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And probably, I bet not even one in a thousand kids are actually playing a game. They're probably just watching videos.
Yeah.
Every time my daughter comes over, we play. It's basically a variation of Monopoly, but it's called Cat Monopoly, where instead of property you're buying cats. It's Monopoly. It's just flavored for those who like cats, and we will play Life. I hate that game. I really do. I suck at that as much as I do with my real life.
Well, that's all chance. That's pure chance.
Yeah.
You go to the poorhouse. Deal with it. You didn't have enough money. You didn't have enough money to retire. Oh, you're going to the poorhouse.
Yeah. What's the other game she like? She'll play Jenga with me, just because my hands twitch a little bit, and she loves to see it fall over when I try to pull one out and start cussing at it.
Hey, what about don't break the ice? Don't spill the beans. Don't do this. Don't do that. All those
Ants in the pants.
Ants in the pants.
I didn't even have those games as a kid.
Ooh. Perfection.
Sorry?
Don't break the ice. Sorry. Yeah.
Trouble,
yeah.
Life.
When I was a kid and I had enough brain power, I started playing Risk, because I graduated from Stratego.
Yeah, my dad and I used to play Stratego and Broadside. You guys remember that one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, that's the thing I played. Anything.
Even as a kid, the odds were for me on a D6 were just like awful. I was like, what? I need to send 30 infantry in, and I still might lose if I'm going against one infantry.
Did any of you guys have HeroScape?
No, a buddy of mine does, though. He's got a ton of that.
Was that the HeroClix?
No.
It was. It had minis.
It was like a hex game, right?
Yeah, hex tiles that snapped together. Each hex tile was a different terrain. I knew nothing about it, but 15 years ago, a friend of mine, her kid, he was like 8, and he wanted to play HeroScape. I'm like, what is this? This is like really cool. I didn't have time to read the rules, and this kid's only 8. We're not gonna do this game. So I just made up role play rules on the spot, and we put the world together. Like you move this way, okay, you get these green tiles or desert tiles or snow tiles or lava tiles, whatever. And then make him roll some dice to see where he goes and what treasure he finds. I had no idea what we were doing, but that was the neatest thing. And now apparently it sells for billions on eBay if you have all the tiles.
Yeah, a friend of mine, he's trying to get rid of his collection. And I'm like, where am I going to put it? I already bought his Cthulhu Wars Kickstarter collection a while back.
Wow.
And I played it not even once.
Yeah, I
dropped like
Cthulhu board games.
7 bills on that.
I'll probably never play. I got Twilight Imperium 3rd edition that I'll play but it's going to be, I have to dedicate like 2 weeks of my life to play solo game on that with
I've spent
players.
thousands of dollars on
Warhammer.
RPGs that I will never ever play, never have played, never will
Yep.
play.
Growing up for me is a little bit interesting than most, I guess, because my mom realized fairly early that she was way too young to raise me by herself, and my biological dad, as soon as she found out that she was pregnant, he joined the U.S. military. So I went to go live with his parents, and this was over in Ireland. I got shipped over to Ireland, and my grandpa loved the TV, but his theory of TV was it was meant for entertainment. So the moment the news came on, the TV went off. That was, it was purely meant for entertainment. His theory was, if I want to be depressed, I'll read the newspaper. And so, but when it comes to games, he taught me how to play like rummy and card games, normal, why I say normal card games, which I guess is not really normal anymore because kids don't know how to play them. People my own age don't really know how to play them. But when it comes to board games, he was never much of sorry or any of that. We play about 20 minutes of chess every night, and he was not happy unless the chess game took a week long to finish. And that was his idea of fun because he loved the strategy game. He never got into all the other strategy games. Chess was that man's game. And
that's
I learned
like
how
Blade Runner. That's like Blade Runner when J.F. Sebastian shows up. He's like King's Bishop to something, and Tyrell's like, ridiculous. Milk and cookies kept you awake all night.
Yes.
So
they would play by post,
Yeah.
They didn't have cell phones or nothing in Blade Runner, so you had to call on a video phone toll booth thing.
Actually, I have a game of chess going on right now with a buddy of mine over in Ireland, and we'll postcards. He'll send me a postcard with a move on it, and I'll send him a postcard.
Oh, very cool!
Yay!
So
my mom was a chess master, and for the life of me, I could never get into that game. I just could never.
I used to have Fortress America, and I wish I'd kept it because it's worth $1,000 now. But
no way! I still got my copy
for first printing.
I think I got it in this closet.
There's like 5 editions of that game, but the first edition is worth a ton of money. Mm-hmm. Same with the Pacific something.
I got the one with Saddam on it. Is it worth some money?
Saddam's on yours?
Yeah.
That looks like a first edition right there.
I think it is.
But I couldn't get into the rules. It's like, what? We're being attacked by what? The
Everybody.
Asia and the Mexicans and the Canadians and this and that and I thought it was going to be like a Risk.
We played the crap out of that game.
But and then I bought some other board games thinking, oh, maybe I'll like these better, but they're all the same. I don't like games where you have victory points, and that's how you win is by victory points. So you play 10 rounds, and then you count who has the most victory points. That's the winner. Like, come on. I want to nuke everything until I'm the last person alive. Don't tell me that there's still people in California and Nevada, but somehow I still win? I don't understand. I want everyone out of my country.
Wow.
The best part, I've got Access and Allies, which is sort of
Access and Allies. That's the one I was thinking.
I played the hell out of that game there for a while.
Yeah. I forget one game I was playing the Japanese, and I was doing you can do technology rolls. So we attacked Pearl Harbor with jets. It was actually pretty great.
I learned. I had a hard time with all those historical games. I did play Battle Cry a couple of times, and I kind of hated that one because it's like you should have just been given all the cards at once, and then you could make a strategy. Instead, you're like randomly drawing cards that would give you your move. It was like, what?
Too much chance. You're trying to strategize
with Risk. Given. With Risk, I learned if I get Australia, I can win the game.
You just build your army, 2 armies at a time. Just keep building.
Yeah, it's just like so it'd be like turn, however it works. I don't remember because it's been forever. It's like, what are you doing over there? Well, I got Australia. What are you doing? Well, I'm building an army. Okay, Next turn. What are you doing? Same thing. Well, this is blockade. Come and get me, fuckers. And
Risk is like tic-tac-toe, but instead of choosing the square, you say, I'm going to put an X in this square. Okay, flip a coin. If it's heads, it's an X. If it's tails, it's an O. So whoever picks the square flips a coin to see what it's really going to be. That's how Risk is.
what was the other one? I always cry. Every so often I would get Ireland, and I'm like, oh, what games do you have in that? In the room I'm in now, I don't have anything that's really reachable. I have 4th edition Dungeons Dragons board games that I've basically taken out all the miniatures of and painted because that was the best thing about that board game. And the games I have with my daughter, everything else is kind of set aside in this room.
I've got literally hundreds of games in this room, but I've got even more in my garage downstairs, and I'm really bummed because right now my garage is like 400 degrees.
No, Grim, what I have a lot of right here are just my figs. And it's basically, I have the Colossal Red Dragon that D&D came out with back in the early 2000s. It was $75 when I first bought it. It goes now for $600.
That's all mostly up there. Shadows of Brimstone, supplements, Twilight Imperium, samurai swords.
A dog.
Yeah, a dog. It's a sphinx, but in a dog form. I made it out of styrofoam for a craft challenge with DM Scotty. Older.
So Shadow, share my screen. Share my screen.
Oh.
Got a sci-fi movie to talk about?
That's the movie you were supposed to watch.
How do I do that?
Just click on it.
You go to their name. It says solo layout.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
No. Not me. Don't blow me up. Down at the bottom, don't you see 2 Shawners at the bottom?
Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. Crack in the World.
Crack in the World, yeah.
I was wondering what that was earlier. Have you seen
No,
not yet, but
okay, you have to see that one. You have to see Forbidden Project. You probably want to
Corbin
see
Project?
Andromeda Strain.
I've seen Andromeda Strain.
The
So have I.
Colossus, the Forbidden Project.
How about the Time Tunnel?
That one's beyond me.
Time Tunnel?
They had androids and stuff, and they were trying to, they went into the future, and all right.
You talking about a TV show?
No, it was a movie. It's from the 60s.
Do I have that movie?
I don't have it, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it a half a million.
I can name the movies I have from the 60s. I think they're from the 60s. Logan's Run.
Ooh, I need that one.
Planet of the Apes 1, 2, and 3. The old ones.
Yeah.
Is there a 4th one?
Oh, you're right, Sean. I am complaining it. Time Tunnel is a TV show. I'm thinking of a different movie. Now, what the hell movie am I thinking
Planet
about?
of the Apes.
Beneath the Planet of the Apes. Escape from the Planet of the Apes. Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, there's a few of them.
No, Conquest, then Battle. There's 5.
See, after the Planet of the Apes movies, the moment the Earth blows up, that's kind of where I'm like, okay, I'm done with my collection because that's right there. That's
Escape. The thing is, though, is if you watch Escape from Planet of the Apes, from Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, it basically creates this endless cycle of where the last movie ends is actually right before the very first Planet of the Apes movie.
That's cool. I have to. I need to buy the latest set of the Planet of the Apes movies. The most recent ones were really good, and I guess I need to go buy the last 3 of them. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to have the whole original collection. You don't really need Battle for the Planet of the Apes because it's kind of like almost not part of the actual canon circular series. Because Conquest of the Planet of the Apes is where Cornelius and Zira's child becomes the first talking ape, and the disease strikes the earth that kills all the dogs and cats that allows the apes to rise up as man's number one pet, and then they rise up against the humans and then destroy the earth, the world of men, and create the Planet of the Apes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know there was a bad TV show that was based on the Planet of the Apes back in the day.
Oh my God, that was so awful. And yet, I had all the action figures. I had the treehouse. I had every Mego Planet of the Apes toy ever created. And if I still had them now, I'd be able to put my kid through college with them.
Well, don't feel too bad. Remember the Kevin Costner's Robin Hood?
Yes, yes.
I had all the toys to that. All the toys.
Why would you do that?
Because I was a kid. And
Okay. Okay. Good answer.
It's like I used to have all the Ninja Turtle toys. Why? I was a kid, and all the He-Man toys.
How do you find like all the time travel movies on the internet? How do you find that?
I just found that actually.
You found the movie?
The movie I was looking for is called The Time Travelers, and it's from '64.
Time Travelers.
Yep.
I know the Time Machine. Time Machine was a great movie.
It was actually not bad. It's actually kind of interesting. Still is. I saw it a few years ago again.
Oh,
1 or 2 L's.
Cool. I have no idea when Logan's Run came out, 71 or 72. I just remember reading a book in high school.
Do I have that one? No, I don't think I've ever seen that one.
I had a hobby of reading the books the teachers didn't want us to read in high school. It's like, that's not what we're reading this week. I'm like, yeah, but this book is better. Can we go to this?
What did you guys think of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea? And what was the sequel to it?
There was a fucking sequel?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a sequel. I just thought that was it because he died at the end of the movie. I thought, at the end of the book.
But the what was that movie called? God,
Mysterious Island.
Yeah. I absolutely love those movies.
Wait, that was an actual movie?
Mysterious Island, yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. I thought it was just like some fucking daydream I had when I was a kid. It was an actual movie.
They had all the giant creatures, and they had Nemo and the Nautilus. They were trapped underneath in a cave.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember it. I thought it was just like a weird daydream I had as a kid.
I believe that's some Harryhausen stop motion in that for the monsters.
What was it called?
Why did they?
I'm learning stuff on this.
Why not?
Mysterious Island? Sean, you've seen it. You had to have seen it. That's from the 60s also.
Was
that 60s?
Was that another one of his books though?
Yeah, there's a Union and Civil War. 1961. Yeah.
How did I bypass that one? I read
During the
most of
Civil War, a group of Union soldiers and 2 Confederates escaped the stockade using a hot air balloon and end up on a strange Pacific island.
Yep.
Never seen it. Never heard of it.
Wow. No. Oh my God. That was like a constant watch when I was a kid, man. Like, it's always on.
Like one of them Italian sci-fi movies.
No, it's not Italian.
With horrible dubbing.
No, for the time it was pretty good.
It's really well made.
Where was it filmed?
Spain.
Which is close to Italy.
I don't know where it's filmed.
Spaghetti? It's a No, that's not spaghetti.
It's not Italian.
What is Spain? Oh, there's a scene where they're inside the freaking submarine.
Yep. Well, yeah.
And the giant bees or hornets?
Not giant
bees. And the giant crabs?
Giant crabs, giant chickens, and yeah.
Was this no, this gotta be the wrong one.
I think I would see this and go, this looks like crap, and I would flip the channel.
I believe you.
That's not Tony Curtis. I'm flipping the channel.
You missed out. It is
See,
not
I'm
sexy Tony Curtis, though.
Okay, so it had a giant featherless bird and a giant bee and a giant crab, and there was much better movies than that. There
So
had to be.
I
There's
typed in
one called Million Years BC. Problem solved.
I typed in Mysterious Island. I get a picture of The Rock. Journey to the Mysterious Island by Jules Verne's.
That's it.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
an old
looking at
Verne
the
story.
61. I'm looking at the 61 version.
Yeah, I used to look forward to that on the Wonderful World of Disney.
Oh wow!
Okay, so the Nautilus parks inside of a cave.
I think it's trapped in the cave. When you know, at the end of the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the novel, the Nautilus gets sunk. Basically, all the navies come out and they blow the crap out of it. And I think supposedly it takes place around an island. He escaped into the island and it caved in, so he can't get back out.
Yeah, I thought he died at the end of the book. Then again, I haven't read it in damn near 20 years.
Okay, and then the guys are underwater and they're all wearing giant shell helmets.
They're Nemo's underwater suits. It's actually pretty cool.
Even heard of this?
It's really steampunky. It's all during the Civil War.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, I've seen that thing like 100 times.
I probably would Channel 5, what are you doing now? This looks like crap. And I would just go look for something else. My dad would say, put on football.
It really wasn't crap, but
God, that sounds oddly familiar. Put it on football.
As a matter of fact, I remember the first time I saw that movie. My dad had to go to this convention in LA, and we lived in Orange County, so it wasn't really that far. But he had to get a hotel, and my mom and my dad and my brother and I, we went to the hotel, and we were basically just stuck there. I don't know why he even brought us with him, because we left the next fucking day. And the only good part about it was as soon as we got to the hotel, I turned on the TV, and that movie was just starting. My little brother and I, we sat and watched that movie, and I can't remember anything else about the trip. But that movie is like, oh, cool. Watch this.
There's a version of it that has Patrick Stewart in, and the guy from God, that guy's a weird fucking actor. The guy from Twin Peaks.
I think I'll stick with the original.
I think I would too, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Where can I watch the original?
That one time we were all on the stream talking about why sci-fi is not as popular as fantasy. I forgot to say I blame Walt Disney, because Walt Disney would take fairy tales and turn them into cartoons and make theme park rides out of them. So everyone grew up with Cinderella, Peter Pan, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, you name it. He did a cartoon for it. It was ingrained in everyone's heads.
Except for Lord of the Rings.
Anyone can identify with the girl looking for Prince Charming, the wishing well, all that nonsense.
Yep.
So then sci-fi, you got Tomorrowland at Disneyland, and people are like scratching their heads like, what do we do in Tomorrowland? I don't know. I have no idea.
They also had
ride,
there was Trip to the Moon. There was Trip to the Moon, Mission to Mars.
There was Shrink Ray ride.
Yeah.
You remember that one? And then they had the monorail, the Space Mountain.
Yeah, the submarine. So.
Wasn't Epcot supposed to be the sci-fi version of the park? Because it had like all the video of other than all the other countries, but they had a big part of Epcot that was about technology of tomorrow. And
it's going to be the concept city future thing, whatever.
Model city, yeah.
But he died, and that was the end of that. They never built it. So the Epcot they have now is some crap-ass piece of Disney World.
Yeah,
it's not sustainable. They were advertising it as, we're sustainable. No.
They never built anything but the theme park.
The huge ass golf ball.
They have to go to Walmart just like everyone else to get their foods and stuff.
I was reading about that, or I was watching a video about that, and apparently Walt went broke and was going broke trying to get that thing built, and basically it would have never got built.
Well, by the time it would have gotten built, things, time would have marched on. People
Could you
would have
imagine
freeways? People would want independence. They don't want monorails and junk.
what if Walt Disney was born today? If Walt Disney was let's say my age, somewhere between my age and Shauner's age, what that person would even look like? Would it be another Musk? Would it be?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
It's Elon Musk.
If he was alive today,
Yeah.
let's say he was a Hollywood Mongol. What are they called? What were those guys? Those guys called?
Mongrels is probably a good word.
No, not Mongol. Mogul.
Yes.
A movie mogul.
Hey, yeah.
He would be like a Tom Cruise, making the best movies, surpassing Lucas and Spielberg for sure.
Ooh, Spielberg. That's kind of hard.
And he would use his empire to influence Los Angeles or whatever to build him whatever he wanted. Like I need a tunnel that goes from my house to New York City, something like that. Elon Musk, he's kind of different though because he keeps all the money in the family. Isn't that weird? All the money he makes goes right into his bank account. He doesn't like buy things. He doesn't take over things. He's not like Bill Gates who wants to own everything. He just keeps the money to himself. And he,
how many baby mamas does that man have?
He's got a lot of kids, Sean. I think he's got like 9 kids. So
that's what I hear.
Wow.
I heard. I don't know if this is true, so I'm going to say this with the finger marks of I could be wrong. But I heard his latest, not his latest child, but he had a child with Amber Heard, Johnny Depp's wife. I don't know if it's true or not, but they were together. She has a kid, and
I don't believe anything the news says. But the Disney thing, Disney is already $1 trillion industry, pretty much, or trying to be. I don't know if it is, but
it's not losing any damn money.
Apple.
They
bought everything they could, but now they're like hurting for money because they keep going woke on every project they do now.
Yep. They're gonna woke themselves right out of existence.
They've done this before.
Walt Disney wasn't woke, but in his day and age, it was called pluralism. That was what he was all about. It was pluralism. Everyone treated equally in the corporate world, that kind of thing. But as long as you have merit, as long as you have skills, you get to stay. But if you're goofing off or not working hard, he'd fire your ass.
No slackers, no commies, no union people.
No Jews. I'm not saying, I'm just saying what he would say, no Jews.
You think so?
Oh,
the media makes up all kinds of stuff about
it. I've heard that, though, forever and a day, that he was anti-Jews.
Yeah, he was anti-communist.
No, I've heard that, too. There's also that rumor that Walt Disney, right before he died from cancer, had his head removed and in some ice box in some freezer somewhere. God only, I don't know.
That's true. No, everyone makes fun, or the media is always going to attack someone who's doing well in life, who's succeeded at what they wanted to do. The media will always go after that person. That's just the way it is.
And this wokeness that Disney is doing, if you want to call it that, it's just a phase. They're trying to keep themselves relevant. In the moment that it goes away, they'll go back to being busy.
It's more than just that. For as long as I can remember, Disneyland had a huge number of gay workers. The employees, there were more gay employees than straight employees for the longest time, and I imagine they've just moved farther and farther up the ladder toward the top, maybe even at the top, I don't know, to where a lot of that agenda is coming from.
Them being gay, lesbian, or otherwise is none of my business. as long as they're doing a job and they're doing it well and not committing any
Right.
crime.
When the Disney execs are actively trying to promote that agenda at a place that is geared to attract children to begin with, I'm gonna see smoke and know there's a fire.
Yeah, well now we know what Disney's all about. So,
Disney,
but they're in California. They're protected though. They bribe the governor, so nothing's going to happen.
Grimm says Disney was anti-commie and anti-Jew. But you know, it's,
well, and he also had his head cut off and buried in someone's thing.
Someone's freezer. So I don't know. It's like you hear shit like this.
I mean, if you're going to say that, you're going to say all the other stuff too. It comes part of the package.
I heard Tom Cruise is fucking nuts because he's part of that. What was that? Science. Oh God, it was a religion based off a sci-fi novel.
Yeah, Scientology.
Maverick is the best movie of the year, apparently.
What is?
Oh yeah,
Maverick.
Maverick.
Yeah.
The audience cheers and applauds and standing ovations because they're hungry for those kind of movies that Hollywood doesn't make anymore.
Yep, I believe it.
God, who names their kid this? Holy shit! I don't even know if I could pronounce it. Hold on, I'm gonna put it in chat. Wesley, yes, she does. I'm about ready to put the kid's name in the chat. That was the other thing that's always weirded me out is you get like, it's mainly famous people, but they name their kids some of the weirdest fucking things.
Moon Unit?
Dweezil?
When Game of Thrones was popular,
they're from the same family, so
yeah. When Game of Thrones was popular,
who got named weird on that show?
There's a bunch of little girls that got named after the Dragon Queen.
Yeah, they're all Khaleesi.
Oh yeah.
That became real popular for a few years.
Yeah, that's normal. Yeah,
I do medieval reenactment, and when Vikings, the TV show, came out, I looked at my buddies like, I wonder how many new people are going to come to sport with the name Ragnar or Loke, whatever, the characters' names from this TV series. He's like, there won't be many. I'm like, there was a lot. And I don't know. I just because it's new, just because it's popular, does not mean you should name your child after it.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, if what was that, the movie The Producers, Hitler and Spring, you know, if that actually became a real play, no one's going to name their kids any characters in that play. Hopefully.
Well, usually when a name becomes famous, then that name doesn't get used anymore. Like after Fred Flintstone, how many Freds do you know?
My father.
I've never met one.
Fred?
My brother.
That's one of those old.
I know two.
That cartoon.
It's like okay, you're making the same argument as like Wendy off of Wizard of Oz or any of the old names.
Oh, Dorothy, yeah. When Dorothy became famous, that was the end of that. No one names their kid Dorothy.
I know one girl, and she's my age.
Dorothy Hamill?
No, I don't know her. Her name was Dorothy Madison, and I looked at her. I'm like, "What's your name?" She's like, "Dorothy, like Wizard of Oz." She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Do your parents hate you?" She's like, "I think so."
No, Shadow's referring to Dorothy Hamill. Camel. Yeah.
And
yeah, but if you're born when the movie's made, you're okay, I guess.
See. When
the movie's shown on CBS every year for 50 years, no one's gonna.
Yeah, I know. I love that movie to this day.
I do know a couple Georges though. I do know a couple Georges.
Yeah,
I don't know any Georges.
I know 3, 4.
I know Jorge's. I know lots of Jorge's.
I don't actually know that many.
I know a ton of Daves. Daves for days.
That's a Bible name, so I don't know if that's ever
When I
gonna go
came
away.
back to the States when I was 15, there was 4 other people in my homeroom that shared my first name. And I don't know why, but the teacher would look at me and say, Anthony. Mike, do I look like an Anthony to you?
You do.
I do not. What does an Anthony look like?
You?
Ah, they're not. When I met my ex-wife, I was
maybe when you're younger, you looked like one, probably.
Oh man, I used to look like. Oh god, what was horrifying was I had a bunch of old ladies when I was younger, tell me like, "Oh, you look like the kid off Saved by the Bells." I'm like, well, she's not talking about the blonde. Did you remember Saved by the Bells there, Shadow?
No, I never watched shows like that.
What
After a
was his
certain
name?
point,
AC Slater.
after a certain point, I think Facts of Life was the last kind of show I watched like that.
Oh
And
my
I
god.
only watched it for Blair.
Yeah, Connell. Saved by the Bell. We're kind of like adults, and it's a little creepy.
Hey, I
Was
was
that
a kid when
Nickelodeon
that
or
show was
something?
on.
Because I don't
No.
watch anything on Nickelodeon.
Because I'm pretty sure those actresses were legit teenagers back then. So
Oh yeah,
They're all Disney.
Saved by the Bell wasn't Disney. It was
Weren't
was
they
no,
like in
it was
the
not
Facts of Life.
30s or something?
Facts of Life. They're all Disney Club members. The Mickey Mouse Club. Excuse me.
Oh god. In the Facts of Life, there was an actress that was a little bit of the hard ass compared to the rest of the girls. I just thought she was cute.
She was, but I think she was playing for the other team. You know what I mean?
Oh, Joe, Nancy McKeon, maybe.
That's not my problem. By the time I realized what stuff was, she's like old enough to be my mom, quite literally. So it was never an issue for me. Was it old TV shows?
Okay,
What was
how
the one my
about- how about
mom
old- okay, who's the best sci-fi chick ever?
best sci-fi chick?
The best looking one.
Best looking. Ooh. Sigourney Weaver from Aliens.
Because I was reminded of Sybil Danning.
I don't know that one.
I had to look her up.
Sigourney
totally
Weaver.
forgot
Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know.
Oh.
In the first Alien movie,
yeah.
she's wearing
She was-
panties.
She had a weird kind of. I don't know.
She had no butt though.
I've never been into the stereotypical Hollywood beauty like Marilyn Monroe. I just whatever. I like the women I've always been interested. Have always kind of had their own look to them. And when you say sci-fi, I think of her.
What about
Or
Sarah
Princess
Connor?
Leia.
No, not my type ever.
What about Furniture from Soylent Green?
She was pretty cute, but
Or the girl
there
from
was
Logan's
one.
Run?
Not so much, but if you remember in
Scully from the X-Files.
in Rollerball, there was one woman, not his ex-wife, and not the new girl, but there was this one brunette that was in the movie. You remember in Rollerball, his ex-wife, and then they sent him a new girl to kind of spy on him, the blonde, and he made her wear the big glasses.
See, now I need to watch that movie again because I don't remember him getting a new girl.
And the one he scraped with his, remember the girl that he cut her face with his glove?
Don't
When
remember.
he shoved his glove in? You don't remember that?
Yeah, I just watched that last week. Yeah, she looked like Twiggy. I don't know who the heck she was. But...
Okay, well, there was another woman. I don't think it wasn't his girl. Okay, the girl who was using the gun in Rollerball to blow up the trees.
Right.
She was freaking smoking hot.
She was. Yeah.
Well, that's Princess
I don't know.
Ardala.
I don't know.
It
I
is.
don't know who the hell she was.
It's Princess Ardala.
She's from Buck Rogers. She got married, had kids, lived a normal life, never saw her again.
Good on her.
Okay, Nathan, I'll give you that one. Amanda Toplin from Stargate.
Stargate was pretty smoking.
Yeah, she was.
Was that which one was that? The albino
well,
girl? or the
Whoa,
blue
Nathan.
girl?
Oh man.
Kaylee.
Really?
Kaylee from Firefly.
No. When Morena
No,
Baccara is
you're
right
doing
there,
it. You're
they
doing it
dip.
wrong. It's the companion girl. That's
No,
Yes.
Exactly. Morena Baccara.
Morena Baccara, yeah.
no,
Oh my
because
God.
when your car breaks down, when your ship breaks
I
down,
don't care.
you want
I don't
the
care.
companion, or you want to fix your ship.
when your ship breaks down and you're going to die. She's the last thing you want to see before you die.
No, I will be banging Morena Baccara
I'll
in
be
my
hanging out
bunk.
with the companion. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
You will teach her everything you know, and she will help you put the ship together.
Connell, she's gonna be too busy working on that ship to do anything with you, buddy.
That's
The
not how she
companion-
works.
The
Man,
companion, that's her job.
I don't know. There was
Spend time
the
with you.
What was the deal with Wash and his wife? Those two didn't look like they had any chemistry whatsoever.
Yeah, they were an odd couple, weren't they?
it works.
That
So
was
I've seen couples
That must
like
have been
was it
like
a
an
couple?
arranged a marriage of
Wash
convenience or something.
and the
Zoe.
Zoe.
And Wash, yeah.
Zoe and Wash. I know couples that are like that, where like the wife is a vet from the Afghani war, and the husband is some schmuck, normal guy. I don't want to say normal, but some normal guy, and they just
He's normie.
they do fine.
He's just a guy who does landscaping or something. He's
Yeah.
just a normie.
He's the pilot. He floats like the.
He
Floats
works
like
at a
leaf.
car wash.
Yeah. Plonk.
I mean, he does fly the ship, but you don't really see him do much flying around. He sits there a lot, and
he sits
he
there and
pushes a button
bitches.
once around.
And plays with his dinosaurs.
Plays with the dinosaurs. Yeah.
But
Right.
they never wear helmets, and they don't wear spacesuits at all.
They do
They don't
too.
they don't take their sci-fi seriously on that show.
There was an episode where
They
a bounty
prance around
hunter.
in their robes and pajamas and fuzzy slippers.
Oh, Sean, it was Wild West in space. Come on.
Yeah.
You know what?
Still
You know
my
what's a
favorite.
better sci-fi show? A better sci-fi show is the Wild Wild West with Dr. Lovelace, and they got that train of theirs with the hoochie mamas always on the caboose. Serving
wait,
them
I never
drinks.
actually watched that show growing up.
That was steampunk before there was steampunk.
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
I was
I-
expecting him to say Lex, and the moment he says Lex, I'm expecting Max coming out of nowhere and starts bitching about what the hell is wrong with you, Lex?
Which
Lex
one was the Lex? Was that the guy with the weird spandex thing over his face? And
No,
he put
that
something
was
in his head?
Farscape.
Yes.
That was
That was it,
Farscape.
Sean.
That was Farscape.
No.
What was Lex then? I can't remember.
No,
What?
you had the weird thing on. Yeah, the big ship looked like a bug.
Yeah, that's all I know. Is the minute I would see that, I'd flip the channel. It's like done.
That show is
I'd
good. I'd
rather
rather
watch the billionth rerun of Monty Python or Blackadder or The Prisoner.
Blackadder's fun.
I just like watching it for the main actress until they changed her.
Oh, I didn't even know they did that.
Was that the girl with the black hair?
No, the one with the blonde.
And she ended
hair
up on
was-
Farscape?
Oh, what was that weird? It was so soft porn. Black Scorpion.
Exactly.
What was it? Yeah, that shows. Lex was definitely soft porn. But what was it? Black Scorpion. It was a superhero
Lost
TV
Girl.
show. What
Lost Girl.
Lost Girl was
Lost-
not sci-fi though. Lost Girl was more fantasy than it was anything else.
I need to look up Lex.
Yeah,
TV
but that-
just to-
I watched it. I
First
watched
time.
one episode, and I'm like, "Oh, okay. This is sci-fi's. This is gonna be Sci-Fi Channel's new softcore porn show." And I never watched it again.
I blame the Canadians because that show came out in Canada. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
I
I'm
see-
looking
I
at the
liked,
pictures. I'm looking at the pictures of the three main stars of Lex, and the
Yeah.
show just looks gay to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just looks gay.
It was an
The
odd
guy
dub, Sean.
had a man bun. What's that all about?
It was gay before it was gay.
He's also undead.
Jack, it's time for you to go to bed there, nephew. This conversation is a whole bit too even grown up for me.
And I'm using the word gay in the in the
Happy term.
colloquial
term. They look happy. Is that what you're saying? They look like a bunch of happy people.
Wasn't there like an old guy on the show, and he was like trying to kill them all?
Happy, yeah. Sorry, happy. There's a bunch of happy people on the show.
Well, they're all
So
criminals.
what was wrong with the girl? What was wrong with the girl with the duck lips? What was wrong with her?
She had duck lips.
Yeah,
I never saw the show.
She had Botox stuck in her lip.
She had committed a crime, and she was a big, fat, ugly thing, and they turned her into a sex slave. Oh. But she kept her mind and escaped. They're all escaped criminals, basically, on that ship.
I have to agree with Grim.
Basically, they rewarded her.
Was it British sci-fi? I hate British sci-fi.
What? I don't know. I think
it was European. It's German and French and English. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that explains it because
I can handle Italian spaghetti space western stuff. I can handle.
What about Red Dwarf? What about Red Dwarf, Shawner?
Oh, I love Red Dwarf.
Don't care for it. Don't care.
Really?
The jokes aren't funny.
They are.
I don't remember laughing.
I own all of them.
I thought they were funny. Then again, I kind of grew up with that kind of sense of humor on the TV all the time. It's just dry as hell. But you like Black Adder.
Have you tried watching the show like recently to see if it hasn't dated itself?
Oh, it has dated itself.
They've got new episodes out over, not more than like 4 years ago.
But they really shouldn't.
They're all really, really old. They're all really old.
How big is their ship? It's like really huge. It's like 5 times larger than the Starship Enterprise or something.
It's like Nostromo, but bigger.
Well, when the guy goes on vacation just to explore the lower decks for like 4 weeks, yeah. It's huge.
Like what kind of a ship are they on?
Generational.
No.
It's a mining ship.
It is a mining ship, yeah.
Oh.
The ship is so large. That when you're in the elevator from the top floor to the bottom floor, you can watch Gone with the Wind in the elevator.
You know, I would rather watch Blake 7 than watch Red Dwarf, and I hate Blake 7.
Oh, what?
Wow.
What is wrong with you?
Did you guys see
it's
the
like
old
a soap opera?
It's
filmed
like a soap opera. Well, it is. Well, it's cheap.
Everyone's standing. They'll close the door, and then they stand by the door, and they look off in the distance, and the camera focuses on them briefly until they cut to some other scene of 2 other people talking behind the guy's back.
That shows a slow burn.
It's the sci-fi version of Dark Shadows, is what I'm hearing.
Oh, Dark Shadows.
No, that I never liked.
Yeah, that's exactly the way I picture.
I'd rather watch all the Hammer films back to back and then back to back.
See, I agree with Grim. I was always a big fan of what was that show Farscape, because there for a while I'm still kind of burnt out on all aliens having to be bipedal. They all have to be human-like. Star Wars, Star Trek, Babylon 5. God, I could think of a few other ones where all the aliens that they go and talk to were all bipedal, human-like aliens. There were no xenomorphs with an excellent and intelligent. They were just other humans that look human on different planets that had no reason to look human, but they were human. I mean, was it Klingons went from looking like Puerto Ricans to having Play-Doh on their face to looking like bugs. Now they look like people with Play-Doh back on their face. It just drives me crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me so much. If the characters are well acted, well written, the story's good, I don't really care what the Klingons look like.
Where Farscape was, they still used Jim Henson's Muppets, so it had a lot of practical science, practical magic involved in the show. I mean, it did have a lot of CGI and other stuff to make it, a sci-fi show. But if they wanted to make the alien look kind of weird, they had Jim Henson's, factory to make a puppeteer-looking alien that was pretty damn cool.
Yeah,
that was a show I didn't really care about when it came on, but I actually watched it later because I had nothing better to do, and it's pretty good. Farscape is. It had a nice story arc on it.
I always jokingly say it's Dungeons and Dragons in space. John Carter starts off as level 1, and by the end of the he's probably a level 10 fighter. If you want to go original ADD.
Well, James L is here, so maybe he knows the answer to this. What was the TV show in the early 90s where it's on a desert planet and the people just jump into the ground and swim through the dirt, and then they come out covered in dirt.
Have you been looking for that all this time and haven't been able to find it?
No.
Dune? No, not Dune.
Could be Dune.
Man, that book series gets weird.
I want to say it was called Earth 2, if that was such a thing.
You know what?
Something 2.
There was a creature in there on the Earth 2 show.
Was it a worm?
It was these are humans. They're humans. Humanoids. They went to this planet and they evolved over time. They became one with the planet. It's very mystical.
I got to do Google search. I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm just going to type in Earth 2.
I think that's what it is.
It's Earth. It's Earth II on an Internet Movie Database.
Oh no! The other day I was watching.
I think you guys may be right. I vaguely remember that.
It's Earth 2.
It's not the Gene Roddenberry thing.
No.
From
Earth
94.
94 to 95.
Okay, so it's number 2 then.
Yeah.
And it had the guy from.
It had the sweet transvestite. It had sweet transvestite in it. Yeah.
Tim Curry.
It had Tim Curry in it.
And Clancy Brown. Didn't it have Clancy Brown in it also?
Yeah. What did Tim Curry do in that?
He was the bad guy.
He was a creepy old pedo.
He does play that role pretty well. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying he plays that role pretty well.
Which character was it that swam through the ground? That's all I want to know.
I don't think the characters did. I think one of the creatures on the planet did that.
But one of the humans learned the ways of the Force.
It has Clancy Brown in it.
Okay.
And then they were able to do it too.
That's what I said.
I didn't watch all of them, but yeah, it was an odd show.
I was getting a divorce around that time, and then I was dating all the chicks. So I was too busy dating all the chicks. And none of the chicks I dated care less about sci-fi.
You had a full schedule, man.
So I missed Voyager. I missed Deep Space Nine. I missed all that stuff.
Oh, you didn't miss Voyager at all, Sean.
I was never home.
Yeah, you did. Voyager sucked ass.
At least of all the Star Trek shows.
I watched the very first episode and turned it off halfway. When it first premiered, I was watching the first episode.
The first episode of anything is horrible.
That's just
Sean, the way it is.
It was bad. I agree with Shadow. I tried watching that first episode. I'm like, oh my God. This is so freaking terrible.
I had less of a problem with that one than I did with Deep Space Snore.
Well, I watched Voyager when they brought the hot chick on the show and got rid
7 of 9.
Yeah.
Jerry Ryans.
Yeah. And then later on, I would find out that she's basically the female version of the Antichrist. So
what?
She's the reason why we have Obama.
Her husband was the reason why we had Obama, because he couldn't keep his dick in his pants. He would love to go to those sex parties while he was over in Paris.
And how do you know about that?
I live in Illinois. He was the congressman of Illinois.
How do you know about any of that?
It came out in his divorce.
Because she had her lawyer release all the stuff.
Well, he wasn't that great of a guy to begin.
He couldn't run. He couldn't run for whatever it was being run over there. So Alan Keyes says, "I'll do it. I'll run against this Obama thing," and Obama won.
I get
what Obama is president fucking 4 years later, and that's the timeline got all screwed up because of Jerry Ryan. And her revenge. It was her revenge. What do they call that? It was just revenge against him. That's all it was.
You're talking about Illinois politics. Illinois politics is not like anywhere else. It's all fucking crooked from the stem up.
Yeah.
And Jack Ryan, you didn't want him in office or any office.
Connell, 7 of 9 screwed up the timeline, and we got Obama.
You don't want Obama. It's bad enough you got 9/11 going on, but now you got Obama
Matt,
on top of that?
what was that? Who did he run against?
Now we know. Now we know what happened.
Now these guys have been lighting up the CERN, trying to fix the timeline. They're screwing it up even worse every time they fire that sucker off.
And now we have Obama 2.0 right now.
They fired it off on the 6th or the 5th, and then James Caan dies a few days later. You know, it's bad timeline.
Oh, dude.
Man, I already knew this was a bad timeline when Betty White died. That's that's when I was like, I'm done with this here.
Betty White is in every timeline, so it doesn't matter.
So what we have to do, guys, is we have to go break into the CERN armed to the teeth, and when they open up that portal, we just jump in because it's got to be better than this timeline.
Jump right into the hell.
Well, who was the actress that played Captain Janeway?
Oh,
she's tried to correct some of this on her own. What's her name? She's Mrs. Columbo. What's her name? Anyway,
I like Columbo.
She was always at odds with Jerry Ryan on that show because Jerry Ryan was, a hippie Democrat, the worst kind.
She was married to Peter Falk.
I don't know how that worked.
Oh, okay.
It was like a spin-off of Columbo. I don't remember how they wrote her character in or not, but she was basically
like fictionally, not in real life. Because I could have swore she also played for the other team.
She's married to a dude.
So is Obama.
Well, not that long ago. I mean, I love you to death, Shadow. But
Okay.
Not so long ago, you
Where
these were Muslims. Like, no.
Okay, is it what website is it that talks about Michelle Obama being a dude? What site is that? Is that the
all kinds of them,
or whatever it's called?
Hey, Donner, just go look up Joan Rivers outing Michelle Obama. Joan Rivers was the first person to say that Mike Obama is a tranny.
Hey.
I got nothing. Absolutely nothing. Whatever.
And I don't know about you guys, but the fact that
anything the media says.
Well, the fact that Joan Rivers died mysteriously like a week later, that's all the evidence I need. But I'm a conspiracy guy.
Wait. She pissed off the Obamas, not the Clintons. So that doesn't track.
Same people.
I don't care. Maybe that's my problem. I got my own problems. I don't care who's crawling in bed with who.
But I like how Ivana dies a few days ago, and the media just blames Trump for murdering her.
This guy's
the whole Trump family is now being interviewed by the highest attorney general or whatever the state.
Really?
She about ready to do a tell-all book? What?
They're blaming the whole family for killing the mom.
Connell, she was 82. That's why she
71,
died.
72.
Oh yeah, I figured old age got her.
Well, she fell down or something.
Somebody. What was
she
I
has
watching?
a mean Adam's apple. Yeah, watch out for women with Adam's apples, I guess. All I know is she has a horrific overbite and she has a bad taste in fashion since forever.
Who?
Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama.
Oh, Big Mike?
Big Mike.
Dude, if you ever see her dance, you could literally see it, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Well, Pamela Anderson, she walks like a dude. The Pretty Woman chick walks like a dude.
Julia
it
Roberts.
happens.
Well,
it happens.
Pamela
Yeah.
Anderson is definitely not a dude. I've seen the movies. So.
She walks like a guy. It's weird. It's just the weirdest thing.
yeah, Captain from Voyager, Kate Mulgrew,
Mulgrew.
That's
Mulgrew,
sounds
yeah.
like her.
She's married to. Well, she was married to a guy. I don't know if she's still married. She's no longer married, but
I don't know about her real life.
yeah,
I mean, in Hollywood, you don't stay married in Hollywood for very long if you're going to be in show business.
what is she doing now?
Yeah, it's like rollerball.
See, I need to watch that again because I want to see someone. You're saying she cut her face with the guy's glove?
No,
he cut her face.
she was threatening him. Tell him you better listen to what they tell you. He says, "Hey, I'm not afraid of you. You can't threaten me. Don't even try." And then he roughs her up a little bit because it's the 70s.
Oh wow!
And it was James Caan. Don't forget that that was his MO.
Yeah,
Jonathan E. I don't even remember that part. Maybe I didn't see it recently on disc. I probably watched it on television. They chopped that out, maybe.
They probably did, but it's worth watching because the chick who lights the trees on fire is one of the hottest women I've ever seen.
Princess Ardala. Yeah.
Was that her?
Yeah.
That was her.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh damn! I gotta go watch Buck Rogers now. Shit! Holy crap!
Watch the first season of
Aaron
Buck Rogers.
Gray, look
do not
out.
watch the second
Yeah,
season.
exactly.
Whatever you do not try. Just try to watch the movie Buck Rogers. Don't watch the whole season.
Sean, that second season's great. They got the Hawk dude and his Hawk plane.
No.
I was watching a documentary on the second season, and I'm like, I don't remember any of that. I gotta go watch it.
They tried to turn it into Star Trek.
Oh shit!
Stars. Kyle's looking at porn.
No, I'm looking at this actress, the captain off of Voyager. She was in the Pirates of the Dark Water.
Well, she's in a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
She was in a movie where she's psionic and she can talk to somebody from another planet through her TV set in the attic. It's scary as hell. She was like 19 at the time, back when ABC used to do those, or was ABC, the Wednesday night movie of the week.
Yep.
Those are scary as hell.
Hey guys, we've got a fifth member for our journey to CERN. Grimm's volunteering.
Okay.
Where's the CERN at? Which one? Which CERN?
The big one.
The latest one? How many they think? How many times they keep making those things?
There's only two. One's really small, and then
there's only two.
Then you got the big one.
Okay, then we're gonna need at least one. We're gonna need at least one more to volunteer, and we'll split up.
They were gonna build one down in Texas.
Don't cross the streams.
Nope. The one.
Now, are these ones buried in the ground still, or are they above ground in orbit?
No, it's underground.
Well, that reminds me. I need to make my last video public. Is it done uploading?
I did a video today with Bruce.
I'll tell you what. If you do an hour of video and it's video gaming, it takes like 5 million hours to upload that thing.
Oh, it's exactly 100. It's 1 hour 10 minutes.
Oh God!
It was me rambling on about, is the Alien universe and the Blade Runner universe the same universe?
Wait.
I thought I talked only for like 5 minutes, but apparently I talked for an hour and 10 minutes.
What was the question? If the alien in what universe?
The Alien universe
and Blade Runner.
Is it the same universe as the Blade Runner universe?
Yes.
And all these conspiracy theory people on the YouTubes are saying yes because they want clickbait.
No, it is.
And the Blade Runner universe is the same universe that the Kurt Russell movie was in.
I did that one. I watched that one too. That one I agreed with because that's what I thought back when the movie came out. That's what I thought.
The spinner's in it, so one of the police spinners sitting in the garbage heap.
No, aliens. The main company.
So that means the Predator is also.
Well, no one was really for sure with Blade Runner and Alien until Prometheus came out. When Prometheus came out and its sequel came out, that's when they threw in the Easter eggs on people's monitor screens in the background with Dallas's history and Tyrell's history and arguing back and forth through emails with the robot guy
David.
and the replicant guy. Who was the guy that made David? The old fart.
Shithead. I can't think of his
Anyway,
name.
he would argue over the centuries with Tyrell about why are you making replicants, and Tyrell's like, why are you making robots? And we need to be making the robots for these space missions. And Tyrell's like, no, the replicants work better. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so they got these emails going back and forth in the background on people's desktop screens. And with the 4K versions of these movies, apparently you can read the stuff now. Because usually it's just blurred.
The original Aliens movie got credited this past month for having the first transsexual in a sci-fi movie, the original Alien movie.
Was it the cat?
No, it was the blonde chick. It was originally a blonde dude.
What happened?
Lambert.
Yep.
Because
I remember that.
If you're looking
Well,
at
the screenplay was written for either guys or girls. That's the first thing the screenplay says is that.
But wait a minute.
For these characters.
Wasn't there a trans in Outland? Wasn't there a trans in Outland?
I don't know.
Were there gays in Logan's Run?
Yes.
Yes, there were.
Yes.
Logan,
Called him,
Logan was
he
bi.
called him up
Logan
on the
was
boat.
bi.
But the thing is,
Logan was bisexual.
When he was doing
But
the
the thing
holographic
is-
Tinder, they called up the guy.
but the
that
thing
wanted to come
is-
in.
Yep,
that was all
exactly.
happening,
I saw that and I
but they
went,
were-
what?
that was all happening back then, but it wasn't like celebrated or advertised. Oh, look what we did. Look
It
what we
was
did.
like-
No, it was
When
like,
it
it was
came
like
to
subliminal.
When it was on, when it came to Lambert in the Aliens movie, it was on a screen for like half of a minute. I mean, not even a full minute. Because it's like Dallas's background, then Ripley's background, then it goes to Lambert, and then it says the trans something now male now female or whatever. But it was in the movies back. It was the first time it was really recognized in a movie of that made as much money as Aliens did. I guess I don't know, but it was
Yeah, but
pointed
when
out.
that movie was made, trans wasn't like a household corrupted word like it is now.
No, it's something you didn't talk about in polite society.
You would say sex
what do you
change.
call it?
Back then, you said sex change, which they don't
Right.
say anymore.
I remember
'Cause
that
they don't
episode
use
of
the word.
Matt.
They don't use the word sex. You can't use the word sex anymore. It's illegal. You have to say gender now.
Sex.
You guys remember that episode of MASH with that what was her name? Was it Candace Bergen who was a guest, and she was talking to Klinger about him going to Sweden to get a sex change?
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Now that you're bringing it up, yeah.
So that was in the Korean War.
Which the show lasted longer than the war did
but
by 13 years.
MASH wasn't about Korea though. It was
An allegory to Vietnam.
Yeah.
No, yeah, well,
And the whole point that the
Yeah.
hippies had, the whole problem hippies had with Vietnam was not that there was a war going on, it was the draft. The hippies wouldn't say it, but they didn't want the draft. So they would go on and on and on about how the war is terrible, this is horrible, bring back the troops. Once the draft was ended, the hippies went away and you didn't hear any more protests going on in the streets about Vietnam. They just wanted the draft to be
The
turned.
hippies became yuppies. Yeah.
it's kind of fun. It's kind of weird and sad. Throughout American history, I think America has only been not in war for altogether for like 20, 29, maybe 30 years. In the last 200 plus years, there's only 30 of them that we have not been in war or in some combat scenario with somebody else, some other country. I mean, we've been at war basically since day 2.
Well, who was at war with us when Trump was president?
Nobody.
No, that's
Well,
not true.
We didn't start any new wars.
We didn't. We were still technically in a war-ish.
He got Trump got rid of ISIS basically. While he
Yeah,
was president.
We're still in. It's back in the '80s, a war against drugs. Now it's a war against terrorism. It's just something they could pour money into that makes more people rich and other people poor.
Well, we were using drones to knock out ISIS, so we don't have to send anyone out there to do it. Easy peasy.
Oh, we had controlled the opium in there in
We
Afghanistan,
had bases.
but now that fentanyl is really cheap, the heroin's not a thing anymore so much. So and that's coming from China. So
yeah,
China.
No, as of right now,
who's the other hottest girls from sci-fi?
Okay, from sci-fi. Ooh. See, Farscape. The chick with the white hair.
Oh, Chiana. Oh, that's all I know about that show. That's all I know about that show.
It's Chiana.
I'm like,
what? Was she a thief or something on the show? What was her?
Yeah, she's some sort of scam artist.
I thought she was hot. I thought
she had a really strong Carrie Fisher vibe going. Who we all have to admit, Carrie Fisher, Return of the Jedi. Damn. Right?
Yeah,
right?
I can never get into Carrie Fisher.
My problem with her, what killed it for me was at the end of the third movie when you found out that her and Luke were related. And the entire time I can't help but think, but the first and second movie, she was digging her brother and not, in a family way.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Mike in a family way. And I'm like, yep, that killed that character for me. But she didn't know. I'm like, it doesn't matter.
It's weird. Too many coincidences with Star Wars. That's why I hate Star Wars.
I get in trouble. I say Star Wars.
It's a galaxy. The galaxy far, far away. The Empire controls the entire galaxy, and they spend their fucking time on Tatooine,
and hot.
Every fucking movie has Tatooine in it.
I just thought that.
Excuse my American.
Yeah, to me, Star Wars always reminded me a lot of that Heinlein book, Citizens of the Galaxy.
What happened?
Daddy issues. All the movies.
Citizen of the Galaxy,
Daddy
and he
issues.
spends his entire time on one planet or something. Or does he actually travel and do stuff and visit?
I don't even remember all that much of it. I just got that vibe from it way back, and I used to read a lot of Heinlein, so a lot of the books sort of.
What was her name from Terminator?
Yeah, I was never into her. Also in Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. No, actually. Oh God, I keep forgetting about her. I don't know why. Oh, mainly because, anyways, Terminator 3, the female Terminator.
She was okay. But you know what?
She played a Terminator really well, though. She was like totally deadly serious the whole time in that movie.
Yeah. You guarantee that BJ was ice cold even off the set.
And she did, that move like the guy from Terminator 2 did. So she kind of copied that way to move, like there's a robot underneath her skin or whatever.
There was a woman. There was a woman in Andromeda. I think the Asian girl. Damn.
The
AI, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a serious thing for her.
No. You can't be in love. You can't be in love with the holographic AI.
I guess I could say Lucy.
The actress looks good. The actress has got a delicious booty.
I kind of could throw what's her name, Scarlett Johansson now on this list because she did Lucy, and that's a sci-fi movie.
The key word is was married to the Terminator director. Who did the Terminator director marry after her?
Her sister? I don't know. She had a twin.
Her stunt double?
Well, as long as he didn't do a God, what was the old actor back in the day who married his stepdaughter, or his adopted daughter?
Woody Allen.
That guy's fucking weird.
That guy is. I can't even begin to imagine how the entire planet didn't
what's
hunt
the
him
joke
down.
now? The joke now is that she's now 51 or 52 or something. So what difference does it make?
Well, because he had
I know.
decades to indoctrinate her. And yes, Sean Young was pretty cute.
Sean Young.
Yeah, from Blade Runner.
Was that the brunette?
Replicant.
Okay.
No, she had no expiration date or whatever they call it.
She had no.
Right. And again, that pissed me off. When I watched the director's cut of Blade Runner, they cut that ending off where Harrison Ford is talking about how she doesn't have an expiration date when they're running off to go live in Canada or wherever at the end.
Yeah.
The best part is the happy ending.
There's 5 versions of Blade Runner. Pick one. Mm-hmm. Pick one to watch.
The one that has the good ending.
Is that the one where she gets pregnant?
The one with the good ending is the original U.S. release. And also the European release has the good ending too.
I saw bits and pieces of Blade Runner over the years, always on TV, and I hate watching movies like that on TV because you're going to miss half of it because of fucking commercials, right? I finally sat down and watched all of it, and it was the director's cut. I'm like, okay, this movie's all right. I can see why a lot of people like it, but it wasn't worth the amount of headache I had. Where, oh my god, you need to go see Blade Runner. I'm like, do I really? Why?
Well, I like the original better. I like Harrison Ford hated the filming of the show. He wanted out. He had a fever. He had a temperature. He had the flu. All that nonsense. And they call him back and they say, "We need you to narrate this film because no one's going to understand any of it." So he spent like a day in the studio dubbing over scenes and narrating, and he just sounds like he just wanted to die. He didn't care about anything, and it worked out perfect. That voice he used worked out perfect for the narration.
To be fair, Harrison Ford has basically hated every movie he's been in.
Yeah. How many times he's broken his foot in a film?
I don't know. Actually, the only movie I've never heard him bitch about is about the Indiana Jones movie. That was like the only series of movies he's done where he doesn't bitch about that character.
I think it was in his best interest to keep his mouth shut.
I think he was paid to not say anything.
Yeah, because those movies
and those NDA things.
Yeah, those movies really put him out in the stratosphere for his career.
Like he signs up for the Disney movies and he has to show up for those Disney stupid conventions in front of the Disney Plus audiences and answer all their stupid questions, and he looks like he wants to be a million miles away.
Well, but that's part of his contract. If you play the game, if you want to play the game, there's certain things you have to do. If you're a musician, an actor, whatever, the moment you sign the dotted line, guess what? You're going to end up doing things you don't want to do.
I want to say either Universal or Paramount, one of the two. They don't do that with their actors. After the movie's over, the actor's busy doing another film, or they're on vacation somewhere away from the media. Privacy, that kind of thing. They don't have to be hauled around to all these stupid junkets, talking to reporters, answering the same stupid questions over and over and over.
What I've noticed, it's like the first 2 or 3 weeks that the movie is out, maybe the first 2 weeks, all the actors in all these movies have to do a circuit, like the interview, the showings and interviews. And after like the first 2 weeks, it just kind of dies off. And that's been across the board from Disney to Universal to everybody else. So, but no.
Yeah, I want to actually get my son to watch Blade Runner. Personally, I always liked it because it always reminded me of like the old Humphrey Bogart, movies.
And all the gin joints in all the world.
Yeah, it just for some reason it just had that noir feeling to it that I actually really kind of got into. I know it's slow as hell at times, but some of the other times it's pretty incredible.
The thing is, a lot of people don't realize because it's been so long since it came out. When it came out, it really was a really unique looking movie. It looked like the future. It was so amazing when that came up.
Yeah.
You're flying over LA, and I saw it in the theater, and I was just blown away. I was like, wow, this is really cool.
Oh yeah,
and Rutger Hauer's performance in it at the at his end, that was just
that's one of the few sci-fi movies that were made back in the early 80s that still stands up today. I mean, it was really well made. I guess my only issue with it was it's so fucking dry. It took so fucking long to get to the point. And normally I don't mind it, but with that one, it just kind of drove me nuts.
It's not really that long a movie, though.
It is when you're bored within the first 20 minutes. But no,
like they would introduce characters and then immediately kill them off. And it's like, okay, what was that about? What's this? What's not fish, snake scale? Who's she? What is she? She's looking at a microscope to see what he handed her in the Ziploc. They still have Ziploc in the future? Anyway, she's like looking at she grabbed some scales from the bathtub. And he thought they were fish.
But Sean, it was only 2022, wasn't it? Or 2019.
Yeah.
and Daryl Hannah was kind of cute in it. If you can see past all that makeup.
Oh my God. I think my favorite role for her is not a sci-fi movie, but Grumpy Old Men. I liked her in that movie. Then again, I like the movie Grumpy Old Men. So Grumpy Old Men, me and Jade would joke around that me and him would turn into those characters, Walter and Matthews, or whatever the character's name was. There for a while, our greeting towards each other was schmuck, putz. And it was just, how our friendship is. But no, really quick though, back on the Indiana Jones thing, I remember there was an interview that Harrison Ford did where somebody asked him, so is it about time for you to hand off the torch of Indiana Jones? And Harrison Ford's like, no one will ever be Indiana Jones. There will only be one Indiana Jones, and it will be me. I will take this character to the grave. Well, they're about ready to release another Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, it'll be a girl, strong black.
You know what it's gonna be?
Shaved
you know what it's gonna be? It's gonna be he's the father of Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
See, that would make more sense than the last one
with the alien skulls.
Yeah. I mean, they jumped the shark on that one, and unlike the prawns, they missed.
They absolutely did, and I love that ancient alien, crap. I don't buy into it that much, but I love watching it.
Really? I thought they jumped the shark on everyone after the original. I thought they were all pretty charming.
Yeah, I really didn't like that.
He dies in the Temple of Doom. He dies in like the first minute of the movie. Twice.
No, not in the first.
And everything else is sort of
he's
a Brazil.
He's a ghost for the rest of the film. It's like, what's the point?
It's like Brazil. He's dead after the first that first scene, and all the other movies are sort of a copy of what happened in Brazil, which still gives me nightmares to this day.
What was that movie?
That's Indiana Jones science fiction movie. So.
I was joking around with somebody, and they actually kind of made this into a point. But I remember watching the Indiana Jones and the Ark one, where the Nazis were after and I'm like watching the movie as a kid, and I'm thinking Indiana Jones did not really need to be in this movie at all, because
stuff happened anyway.
Everything happens. They died and left it on an island. Indiana Jones didn't need to be there for that.
Yeah, the Germans were going to open up the
Ark.
tabernacle thing, or whatever, the Ark of Covenant, and they would their faces would melt. Indy didn't have to be there.
He did have to be there. That belongs in the museum.
And then how did he go on that submarine ride? They never explained that part.
He got in the boat somehow.
No, he used his whipped it around the periscope, and apparently they drove with the periscope up the whole time. So he was like water skiing with the with the submarine. That's what I got from it.
Oh yeah, there was a TV show, Young Indiana. That was like
Oh,
only
and then
on like
the girl's
seasons.
drinking everyone under the table, and then she's got like 50 shot glasses, and she's totally fine. You know, everyone else is drunk, and she's totally fine.
I went with a girl that could fucking outdrink most of the other guy rugby team, and she was a foreign kid from
50 shots though. Come on, 50 shots.
Yeah, 50 shots. I don't believe, but this girl.
Yeah, not that body mass. No way.
No,
unless she's
but
like literally. Unless she's got a catheter behind the bar.
She was like totally fine. She was like it wasn't even a slow drip kind of thing. She just was not even slushing her words or nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
I went down to U of I, Champaign, Illinois for college. I got a scholarship to play rugby there. And there was a guy rugby team and a girl rugby team. And they had a woman on a female rugby team that was like from Switzerland or Norway. And that fucking broad could drink like there was no fucking tomorrow.
I like how you said, and they had a woman on the woman team.
Yeah, I know. I realized it. Yeah, I realized it.
Imagine that in this day and age.
Now you have to clarify because you got grown men pretending to be women on rugby teams, just wiping out all the girls and getting medals for it.
I was told day 2 being in college down there, don't flirt with any of the women on the rugby team because 99% of all the females on the on their team are batting for batting for the other team. Or I'm like, that sucks. I ended up dating one of them, so it was only 99% of them were. But no, fucking that girl from Norway or Switzerland, I don't remember which place she was from. She could do some damage. And she drank my ass underneath the table a few times. So, and I wasn't that big. I mean, I don't know. But body weight does matter when it comes to drinking. But I know scrawny guys that could fucking outdrink fucking fat asses my size.
Well, it's kind of like the Man in Black from Princess Bride. You got to build up an immunity.
Yeah.
Inconceivable.
Okay, powder.
I mean, fuck. I grew up in Ireland and I drank daily. I mean, daily. I think I started drinking when I was 12, but it wasn't American piss water. It was, the Guinness, a proper beer.
Well, I gotta get going. I have to go eat.
Yeah, I was wondering, man. You really stuck it out tonight.
Where you gonna get tacos?
Oh, I don't know.
Last time we talked, it was tacos.
Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, it is Saturday. Well, it is technically Sunday now.
Sunday. I don't know what's open now.
Denny's.
Midnight?
Denny's is always open.
I know there's donut shops open, so I'll go there first. Oh,
have dessert, then
Mexican.
That's a lovely dinner.
Carne asada fries. That's what I'm getting.
Oh my
god! Tacos.
We're doing tacos later today.
Yay!
Planning ahead.
It's not Tuesday.
See you guys later.
Have a great evening.
You can only have tacos on Tuesday.
Oh no, we're having tacos tomorrow.
Real tacos or like American grade tacos?
American tacos. What are you, nuts? Just because my wife is Mexican doesn't mean she's cooking.
I don't know what to say to that. I don't know your wife. And
my whole family loves the way I make tacos. So,
do you do the?
Actually, she might make them, but they're gonna be crunchy.
Taco seasoning you get at the store: ground hamburger meat, lettuce, tomatoes, cheese, sour cream.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah. Now you get yourself a nice little corn tortilla. Get some flat steak.
I hate stuff.
Good old street tacos are the best. Some of
Air fryer chicken nuggets. That sounds good too.
Crunchy tacos. Tacos got to be crunchy.
Yep.
I'll give you that, but it needs more than just hamburger, iceberg lettuce, and tomatoes. It needs like some lime,
cheese, sour cream, tomato. Oh fuck! I can't stand
cilantro.
I'm definitely allergic to cilantro, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that, but
I
no,
have taco tattoos. Way to go, Leslie. Dead bull sleep.
He's going to go and tell Shadow they don't like his tacos anymore.
He does have the
Nobody-
bat. Ain't nobody
nobody-
gonna tell him.
Have you seen my gun show hauls? Nobody's going to tell me shit. I'm kind of jonesing because the next gun show is until November. I'm like, oh my god, am I going to get my fix of sharp, pointy things?
When I moved back to the States and I was living with my mom and my stepdad full time, my
See you, Greg.
my
Later,
stepdad
Graham. Love you, man. We'll
had
see you.
the most,
Maybe we'll talk tomorrow.
basic menu. He would only eat the most basic of foods: meatloaf, fried chicken,
Oh
basic
god, I
shit.
haven't had a good meatloaf in like my
My
son.
meatloaf will give you a heart attack. That's just how I make my meatloaf, though.
Okay, write up the recipe and send it to me because I want a good meatloaf.
All right. But I couldn't do it. After living with my grandparents and realizing food can be good, it does not have to be boring. I just can't slide back into the all-American norm when it comes to food. I want more. Food doesn't need to be boring. It doesn't need to be miserable.
No.
And so... No, my ex-wife was very much, she wanted the all-American normal food. I'm like, this is just not going to work. I want a stuffed lamb burger with goat cheese, with a blue cheese on it, with not mozzarella, provolone cheese on top of on a pretzel burger, on pretzel buns. Is it good for me? No. Was it tasty? Fuck yes. And if anybody watching this video is from Nashville, Tennessee, I don't know why you'd be watching this at this time, but if you're from Nashville, Tennessee, go to this town called Hendersonville. Look at this place called Jumbo and Delicious. They have burgers this freaking big, and most of the time they're stuffed, and they're amazing.
Now you got me thinking about breakfast. What the hell am I going to make? I think I'm going to make breakfast burritos.
Was it eggs, cheese, sour cream, tomatoes, bacon?
You damn right, bacon.
You're gonna be with the first lady there with your breakfast tacos?
That's what I was alluding to.
I thought you were.
Oh, freaking Nathan's from Hendersonville. Yeah. Check out Jumbo and Delicious.
That was my nickname in school.
Jumbo and Delicious?
Heck yeah.
My nickname in high school was Asshole.
Mine's
I earned it.
Yeah. Yeah, bacon is the food of the gods.
It is the magic meat.
Oh, bacon.
Meat candy. I've actually seen bacon cookies and bacon covered chocolate.
Yes.
It makes a salad worth eating.
You can wrap any other meat in bacon and it's good.
And if you put enough bacon on bacon, you end up actually going backwards in time.
That's fair.
Creates a singularity bigger
Nathan,
than what the CERN does.
Nathan, do you know Prince Chicken? The hottest fucking chicken I've ever had in my life is called Prince Chicken. Holy crap! I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah, I don't do spicy.
Neither do I. But
I can't eat a lot of stuff now that I'm older, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it takes a toll eventually.
Spice, I used to be able to eat the hottest stuff. Nah, not so much anymore. I can still
Yeah.
eat it, but it doesn't react well to me. Neither does anything with tomato sauce, unfortunately.
Hallowed.
I put the address for the place in chat. It hasn't shown up. That's weird. Yeah, no, the Nathan, the place is Imperial Square Shopping Center in Hendersonville. That's weird. It didn't show up.
Same with me, Wesley. I get really bad acid reflux when I do that stuff. That's awful. That's scary.
Yeah, I just go for raw tomatoes these days.
Yeah.
I actually was watching TikTok. There's a person on TikTok actually amuses me great. There's a few people on there amuses me greatly, and you guys showed one of them last night, and it just didn't go over well. No one seemed to like him, but the DM therapist, Dungeon Dragons therapist, the redhead guy that Max showed, I think his videos are funny. But that's just me. You know, humor is a personal humor is always weird from people to people. But there was a TikTok where this lady threw like feta cheese, tomatoes, olive oil, and a few other things into the oven and let it cook down. Then she made a tomato sauce out of it, doing it that way. Then she boiled some noodles and threw that on top of it. I'm like, that's a good idea, but in my head, I'm just reworking it. So I did it with a different cheese, and I made it tonight for dinner. It's fucking good. And it only took me about 25, 30 minutes to make. And I don't know. I like cooking. But
yeah, I have this thing. If it takes me longer to cook the meal than it's going to be to eat the meal, I usually don't want to do it.
Oh, man. I don't know. I think it was my grandparents that made me this way because I like courses. I like a 7-course meal. I don't do them all that often, but for like special occasions, I will.
Yeah, Christmas and Thanksgiving.
I hate Thanksgiving. That's not true. Yes, it is. I hate Thanksgiving.
What do you have for Thanksgiving?
I refuse to serve turkey. I hate fucking turkey.
That's why you got to do baby back ribs.
I've done that. I roasted a whole lamb one year for Thanksgiving. I roasted a whole pig one year for Thanksgiving. I just refused turkey. And it was like, oh, it's American to eat turkey on Thanksgiving. I'm like, yes, I know Thanksgiving is an American holiday, but they also served rabbit, squirrels, and a few other things on their first Thanksgiving. So unless you have rabbit on your table, give me a break.
I usually do ham for Thanksgiving.
I know. Yeah. Well, yeah.
We've done that in the past, but my family absolutely loves the way I make baby back ribs. So
fuck Chicago. If it wasn't for Chicago, ham wouldn't have been as popular as it is now.
And then Christmas is prime rib, but we'll see how much that's going to cost this year.
Woo, that's
yeah. I still haven't. One, I can't find prime rib because we don't have butchers in California anymore, apparently. And I never was able to cook it right without burning the shit out of it.
Never mind.
I can't find it anyway, so I can't cook it.
You're wrapping bacon, and once the bacon starts falling off like twisted paper, it's done. Now,
you don't need to wrap it in bacon.
You do. Don't tell them that. You make a nice little bacon lattice, and you wrap around the prime rib. I don't know.
God damn, that sounds good. And I haven't had prime rib. I literally haven't had prime rib in about 12 years.
Wow.
About 2 weeks ago, I made what was that thing that Gordon Ramsay, beef Wellington. I made one of those.
Never have
it. It's you get yourself a nice roast, then you put mushrooms on top of it, then you put prosciutto around that, then you wrap it up, stick it in the freezer, then you get a puff pastry, and you roll that onto a puff pastry, and you make a little, enclosed burrito, and you make it look all pretty. Put some egg white on top of it. You throw it in the oven for 30 at 350 for 45 minutes. You pull it out, and if you do everything right, and you cut open, you have like the pastry, then the line of mushrooms and prosciutto. Then your beef needs to be Well, do you like your beef rare?
Depends on.
Always.
Always. I know some people that want their steaks like shoe leather, and I tell them to get the fuck out of my house. I mean, it's if I'm on a date and the lady is like, I like my steak well done. I'm like, well, this date's over. Thanks for coming out. Because that's just cruel and unusual punishment. So sci-fi, you know what always killed me about sci-fi food?
Connell trying to get back to sci-fi?
I'm working at it.
No, that's actually, I consider this a very successful show tonight. Wish the little guy could have hung out longer, but
your wife drugged him.
No, he was fading up here for a while. He just broke the fever earlier this morning, this afternoon, and
I imagine he's pretty wiped out.
Yeah, that'll do it. So we will be covering Stranger Things episode 2 tomorrow or today.
Yep.
And we'll do the back half with the back half of the show with Grave Peril.
Yep. Oh, excuse me, guys. Oh,
it is like
I had this great link to audiobooks that Matt sent us.
Mark?
And Mark, yeah, sorry, I don't know why I said Matt. And it was working out fine. And then we get to like the 6th hour, both me and my son, and you couldn't play any more on it.
That sucks.
And of course, we waited till the last minute to watch it.
Nothing new there.
No, I was actually what was happening with me is I'd listen to, because it was in hour increments, and I'd listen to an hour, get to the next hour, and fall asleep. And then I'd have to rewind it, go and do it again. And, I started probably listening to it around Tuesday, but that kept happening. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to wait until Saturday. I got the whole day. I'll listen to it Saturday. Woke up this morning, started listening to, hour 4, got to hour 5, and then hour 6, nothing. And it's 12 hours on audio. Like, shit. That's a long-ass book. But it would take me, probably a lot longer to actually read the book.
It's a good book, though. Sean, have you read any of the Dresden Files?
Nope.
No.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's not everybody's bag.
Did you watch Stranger Things?
Nope. Sorry.
Wow, 2 for 2. One more strike, you're out of here, man.
I know. That's your guys' thing. I've been watching your videos. So.
It's just...
I think you might like it if you gave it a chance, but you never know. Do you like Goonies?
Okay.
No, that's a no.
It was a kid's show.
Yeah, but weren't you a kid once?
Not when that came out. No, I didn't even see it when it came out. So.
Yeah, I mean neither. I was much older when I finally saw it.
I was.
Of course you were. You're still a kid.
I do understand the love people have for it as children watching it. So.
No, at any age, it's really well done.
Don't get me wrong, I've seen it.
They were talking about making a sequel to Goonies.
Now,
for the last like 15 years. Which one?
E.T. I've never seen.
E.T. was depressing as fuck.
Oh, people love the crap out of that too.
Yeah, I was born when Goonies came out. Okay, it was 85. I'm like, was I even born when Goonies came out? Actually, it's funny because when the Goonies came out, I remember watching it as a kid with my grandparents. And my grandma had this friend of hers from church who spoke fluent Italian. And there's a scene, Shad, do you remember the scene where they go into that restaurant and the mom is talking to her son but in Italian?
What movie?
Goonies.
No, I don't remember almost anything about it.
Anyway, you're killing me, Smalls. Anyways, the whole dialogue between the mom and her son was all in Italian, and it was mainly cussing. I mean, there was like the F-bomb was at least dropped once, and because it was never subtitled into English, they didn't have to worry about it. Because if you don't understand, it's if you don't know, if no one knows the language, you're not going to get in trouble from it with the FCC. It was like the whole thing with was it Firefly with what was that word they used?
All the Chinese, all the curse words in Chinese.
Yeah, same concept.
Of them, yeah.
God, I can't. There's a certain lady I get smacked in the back of the head whenever I say "God damn," so I don't say it when I'm. But I'll say it in Chinese because I got it from Firefly. She's like, "I know what that means." I'm like, "I know you know what that means, but I'm not saying it in English, so you can't smack me." And she'll still smack me in the back of the head. I don't know. You taught samurai swords. Okay.
Yeah, it used to be called Shogun, but they renamed it. I don't know why. Shogun was a much better name, but it's basically like a feudal Japan war game that I picked up at a yard sale in my neighborhood for like $5, and it's totally complete.
So what about you, Sean? You got anything coming out? Videos? Or do you just watch and make fun of us, on the other side of the chat?
I just point and laugh at you guys. No. I do have some videos. I haven't put anything up yet. I haven't published them. Still trying to work stuff out.
I hope Jay does actually start putting out videos, especially in that index card RPG that he likes so much. I know he did well in this past week's Gatekeepers. Him and Max seem to get along pretty well. Jade's a really good guy, so it helps.
So once I heard in the live stream that Jade doesn't have any videos either, I didn't feel so bad.
He's working on it. It's just he's like me.
He'll get there. He's just too much of a perfectionist, and that's going to bite him in the ass in the long run. A lot of the things he's told me, he's just got to, unclench and just relax and just put some stuff out. People are either going to love him or hate him.
I got 20.
And there's enough people out there to where you'll get enough of the right kind of people. You'll bump into them. You'll meet people that like what you do, and you'll never meet the people who don't. Right. So don't worry about it. And we've all got this nice little family of friends out there. We all watch each other's stuff. We all back each other up. We help each other out whenever we can, and it'll be no different with him. He just needs to relax and realize that no matter what he does, it's never going to be perfect. And over here, on my son and I, we embrace the imperfections. We're never going to be polished, and maybe when I'm dead and he's taken over the channel in the future, years and years and years from now, I hope maybe that'll change. But right now, it's we never script, we never redo it. If we make a mistake, we just keep rolling, and it's all about having fun. It's not about, if you want to make a career out of it, then go ahead and sink the money into it and go that route. But then people are going to give you a hard time, for being fake.
Right. Yeah, I'm not quitting my job anytime soon to take up being a professional YouTuber and making the.
What do you do for a living?
Work for the government.
Explain sale wine shirts.
I'm retired, so I've been retired for 15 years. So I do whatever the hell I want. And that's it.
From like age 15 to like 23, all I did was my main thing for some odd reason was to collect Hawaiian shirts. I had a bunch of them. I had a bunch of them.
Yeah, I do too. I just don't ever wear them.
I had the same people that made the Magnum PI, the Tom Selleck Hawaiian shirts. I had like 2 of them, and I paid like $300 for both of them. No, $300 each. So I had a bunch of Hawaiian shirts. Then I started dating this woman, and I went away for the weekend because I had something I had to do. Right? It was either family or work. I come back, and she's like, "I got you some new clothes." I'm like, "Thank you." She's like, "Yeah, they're up in your closet." So I go up and look. I'm like, "Where's my where's my Hawaiian shirts?" Because I had almost a closet full. I'm like, "Where's my Hawaiian shirts?" She's like, "Oh, I gave those to Goodwill. They're really tacky." I'm like, "You what?" And that was basically the end of that relationship.
No, Hawaiian shirts, they're loose. They're not tight like a t-shirt. They're really airy, you know?
Yeah, I've actually got, you might have seen, probably not, but about a year ago, we did this video where we made this volcanic island, and I've got these 2 Hawaiian shirts that have like flames on them. One red and one blue. So the little guy was wearing my shirt. It was just hanging off him because he was like almost 2 feet shorter than he is now. It was so cute. And now if he puts it on, it's going to, fit. So we're going to have to, sometime before the end of the summer, wear those again when we do something together. I'm not sure what. But.
I had this really ugly Hawaiian shirt. It had I think it was green. I don't know. It was some off color. But it had like a samurai, old-fashioned drawing of a samurai on one side and a koi fish on the other one. I absolutely loved this shirt. But it was ugly as sin. Everybody's like, "That's the hideous shirt I've ever seen." And I'm colorblind, so the color never bothered me. I just thought it was a really cool shirt. But I knew it was ugly. You just know, right? I saw one here recently, a Hawaiian shirt, but it was a Dungeons and Dragons theme, and I kind of want to get it. Had like, and it didn't have like any known characters. All it had is like D20s and D6s.
I've seen that one. That one's pretty cool.
Yeah.
My favorite Hawaiian shirt that I have is actually got cocktails and mixed drinks on it. And I don't drink anymore, so I feel like a hypocrite if I put it on.
No.
The cigar shop I go to, actually I have one, but they have another one. They have tie. They have a tie there that has like cigars on it. I thought about buying because I already have one. I figure if you have one, you might as well have 2, right? Yeah.
The next one I'm going to buy, though, is going to be the one with the electric guitars on it. I think everybody's seen that one, too.
Well, I think I got to go to bed since it's
it is almost 1 o'clock in the a.m. It's been a great show. You guys are always welcome back. Hopefully, some of my other friends, Nathan, I've been waiting to get him, hang out with him live. We've been friends for a while now. My other friend, Kevin, who decided to creep us all out tonight.
He'll figure it out.
He kind of looked like, I'm sure he's a great guy, but the way he had the camera set up, he kind of looked like the old Mexican off of what TV show was that? Breaking Bad. That was in the wheelchair that had a stroke, and all he could do was.
He's actually Irish. He's another one of my Irish friends. Yeah, he is. You guys might have even bumped into each other because he's been there many times, and he's a great guy. Been a friend of mine for. Hell, he helped me move into this place back almost 12 years ago.
I'm sure he's a good guy. He made me think of the old Mexican guy. You ever seen this?
He was actually making me think more of like a cross between Freddy Krueger and that weird guy from what the hell was that show we were talking about earlier?
A lot of them. Lex?
Yeah, no, not Lex. Farscape, the guy with the black bondage outfit.
Scorpius?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Scrobius.
Just the way the weird angles and stuff.
No,
but he's a nice guy.
when he was laying down, I'm thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, don't say this, because I'm basically telling myself, just don't. And I have to do this a lot, actually. But I'm like, I've seen porns that start this way. I'm like, shut up, don't say that.
And I'm out. I'll see you guys later.
Have a great weekend, man.
See you, Sean.
I'll see you.
I actually do try to behave. I just want you to know that, Sean. A lot of these streams, I do try to behave. Don't say the first thing that pops out of your mouth. Say the third thing. Well, that doesn't work either. So, thanks for having me on tonight. These are always fun
Anytime,
with you.
brother. Anytime. And I do want you to get to meet some of the other friends of mine, that you probably have never bumped into before. But yeah, this is a really good one. I'm just bummed that my son was not feeling well. I hope he's feeling better tomorrow. We've got 2 shows to do tomorrow with you, and then our regular Sunday video of painting, which he is once again behind on that too. But he stayed home from school Friday and had a fever, went up to 102. But that's all it was. He just had a fever. No real runny nose, no coughing, no nothing. Just out of nowhere, just a fever. And then now his mom's got something going on, but it's affecting her completely different. We did the COVID test. Nobody positive. And I didn't get anything. No headache, no sniffles, nothing. So tomorrow I'm going to wake up with 103.
Yeah, let me know. I mean, if we got
no, I'll suffer through it. If all I get is a headache, I've had headaches before,
Right.
Just I can't take anything like ibuprofen or aspirin or any of that shit anymore. My stomach's all messed up from taking too much of it. I had a back injury and I was taking a maximum dosage every day for years, and I'm lucky I still have kidneys. Yeah,
So,
thanks, Nathan. He's been a trooper all day, and I didn't know you were in the Army, Nathan. Wow, just about everybody I know now is military except Connell and myself, and I did other similar stuff, just not that.
I'm leaving all that alone. I wanted to be in the Marine Corps, but it was the Ritalin, because I took Ritalin as a kid, that kept me out of it. But no, Nathan, when you get a chance, check out Jumbo and Delicious. I'm telling you, go there hungry, because if you go there peckish, it's not going to work out well for you.
Well, thank you guys for your service, and thank your old man for his service, because that's one, I don't know if you guys know right now, but my son's already signed up for a JROTC this coming year when he hits 9th grade, and he's planning on doing Air Force as soon as he graduates. So the whole family is no, we'll talk about it one of these days, Nathan. It was something different. And not technically similar, but we were surrounded by those guys. But yeah, this was a great stream. I'm glad we could talk sci-fi. As a matter of fact, we might even do it again next Saturday, because even though I do a lot of fantasy stuff, sci-fi is my jam. I mean, I like to mix them, but there's I can talk sci-fi. We didn't even talk about Babylon 5 tonight, and that could be a whole. That show was so good. That show was so good.
Show. Everything but first season was good.
First season and fifth season. Fifth season kind of sucked at us too. But the first season I think wasn't as bad as fifth season.
I never made the fifth season. What they did, they had Jack the Ripper show up on one of the episodes, and that did it for me. That killed it. I'm like, I'm done. And
I thought that was in the middle of it.
It was like in the middle of third or fourth season. They had Jack the Ripper show up, and I'm like, I'm done.
But you really got to at least go to season 4, and it ends it's literally like Lord of the Rings in space. Season 5 is like when the hobbits go back to the Shire.
So it takes 17 years to get anywhere. Gotcha.
And the worst thing is they're redoing it, but
no, it got canceled.
Oh, it did?
The reboot got canceled.
Thank you.
Although I do
want to see.
Babylon.
Now we just gotta pray. Now we just gotta pray that they don't redo Firefly because Disney will do something.
I disagree with you. It depends on the director, and I disagree with you on a couple different angles on it. It could suck. I'm not saying it doesn't have the possibility of sucking, but there's a lot of different angles you could do Firefly that has nothing to do with the original crew that could be just as good. Because if Tolkien's son, Chris Tolkien, drops out another book from his father that had absolutely nothing to do with the Hobbits or any of the Hobbits from the Shire, would you be really disappointed?
No, I mean, it's in the family, so I would actually probably give it more of the benefit of the doubt than a lot of other things because it is family, and nobody's going to do it better, and nobody has the right to do it better than
Tolkien told the people of Disney to fuck the right off because Disney tried to buy the rights to Lord of the Rings and all that, and Tolkien literally told them to fuck off because he did not like their variation of was it Sleeping Beauty? Yeah, when Sleeping Beauty first came out, him and one of his friends went to go see it while I was in theater, and Tolkien wanted nothing to do with it because he thought it was a bastardization of the original story, which, tell the truth, you could not tell the original story to any kids. Sleeping Beauty. Have you ever read it?
Probably. I was thinking of Cinderella, but
Cinderella.
Things like that.
Cinderella is basically sisters cut their fucking toes off. Snow White gets basically raped, has a child while she's still unconscious. Yeah, these old stories are like, oh my god, these children need to read them. Like, no child needs to read that until they're much older in life. So what Disney did, Walt Disney took these stories and, for better or worse, kidified them.
Yeah, we definitely have to get you on the show, Nathan. Maybe leave some time open next Saturday because Saturday night's going to be our regular stream. We might do one in the week sometimes, but we're trying to limit it, and Saturday, ask Connell. We'd be hanging out with Shauner on his show, but he hasn't been doing one lately, and he comes onto our show, so.
Tell you what, I will either we could do a 50-50 host where you do the first hour and I'll do the second hour. But keep in mind, next Sunday we also have Bruce's campaign. So I don't know how much mental power I'll have left after a game because those games kind of drain me from time to time. But I will, if you have a chat up, I will definitely jump on anytime there, brother.
Yeah. The little guy really likes doing this a lot. He really does, even though tonight he wasn't too talkative because he was just dying.
Yeah.
I guess. But, he's been asking me all week, when are we going to do it? I'm like, Saturdays. We don't like stepping on the toes of our other friends who are out there doing stuff, on a particular night. So we.
Yeah,
so between we don't step on anybody's toes. And
Bruce's movie, a guy in a movie on Monday.
Yep.
Wednesday, Gatekeepers. Thursday, Table Breakers. Friday, Chill Stream. Saturday, nothing, which is weird. You think there'd be a bunch of them on Saturday. Sunday, us and Max, and Heathen Dog. Tuesday, I'm sure somebody does something on Tuesday. I just can't fucking think of it right now.
Tuesday, I'm in Bloodworth's D&D game.
So you're busy anyway. So yeah. So no, like I said,
and Monday night, we were going to do it, but it's a school night, so it's not fair to the little guy. Saturday's perfect for us. So, yeah, I'll PM you Friday, I guess. And yeah, definitely, Nathan, because I guarantee you'll fit in with this group. And um, we've never talked, except through
Chap.
messages and stuff and Facebook. And we've been friends for a while now, and we have a lot in common because we do the crafting sort of thing. And he's a big action figure guy and a big Star Wars fan, and he does a lot of making actual robots and stuff.
I will be nice if I'm on. I'll be nice when it comes to Star Wars. I love picking on it. I pick on everything though. I mean, nothing is really. The way I was always thought is the moment somebody takes something too sacred is the moment when you start to need to be poking at it. There's certain things out there that shouldn't be, but we're talking about fictional stories. We're not talking about
religion
yeah,
or music, which is something we've got to do.
Music needs to be picked at. So
I mean, one of these nights we got to do a show all on music.
That'd be fun. So yeah, I love the fact that you call me younger brother. He's the little brother. I always have to keep reminding. Well, that's fair. I've never been somebody's younger brother before.
We love our space people too. Yeah, but we'll definitely. I'll try to put something in the title to kind of like Connell kept gearing us back toward it, but. Wow, I did not know that my sweetheart was in Buck Rogers, man. I'm gonna have to go watch that. She was Princess Ardala and in Rollerball. Damn, and now she's probably like 100 years old.
Shauna's video just popped on my YouTube. Are the aliens in Blade Runner universe the same? I'm gonna have to watch it as I'm passing out.
Yep. Sean is a great guy, and now I can say I've had him on my show.
Yeah.
Now all I gotta do is get into one of his games, and I can die a happy man. No, I got a lot more to do than that.
I got a whole lot more people I want to piss off first. I mean me. There's a whole lot more people out there.
Aaron Graham was very, very attractive, but I'm not into blue eyes. I like brown eyes, and I like brown hair.
You have no idea. Blue eyes. I'm like, this. I'm colorblind, right? Blue eyes look like pure white eyes with a black pupil. Weird. Yep. It's weird.
Well, I've got blue eyes, so I also don't date blonde women. So it's one of those things, I look for my exact opposites. I also don't date white girls. So. And she in Rollerball, she looks a little Latina or something.
Pretty soon, most of the women I date will all be gray anyway, so haircut is a non-factor.
I know.
Oh my god! So it's funny. I started going gray in high school. I had Doctor Strange. The whole Doctor Strange. I had this. No, yeah. It's the opposite side. This whole side right here just went gray, and I had long hair. I'm like, this is awesome. But God, I'm not ready to go gray. Now when I get a haircut, I'm like looking at the hair on the ground. I'm like, there's a whole lot more.
I had a girlfriend back in about 20 years ago, and she had brown hair. But then she told me that she dyed her hair, and I'm like, what color is it naturally? She says gray, and she was like 30. And I'm like, what? Why dye your hair? Oh my God, that's got to be sexy as hell when a chick has got like whitish hair and they're really young, And I'm like, and she would never do it. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, Nathan, you have no idea. Being colorblind has been a real
Yeah,
challenge throughout my
you're
life.
gonna when you meet Nathan, you're gonna think you still got the long hair, right, Nathan? Because the last time I saw a picture of him, we could literally be related.
Oh yeah, Wesley, you're right. The Mad Max gray streak. Yeah, it's fun. I keep my hair short anymore. I kind of get the military cut because I have thick curly hair.
Long hairs, man.
Man, if I could do long hair well, I would. But every time I had long hair, I had to keep it up in a ponytail.
Yeah, I should too. But when I do, it just makes my head hotter. You know, that's why you were making fun of my hair doing all this shit blowing in the wind. I got the fan down.
It's alive. Oh, it gives me a headache too.
I'm a Medusa or something. I don't know, but
I got a fucking Metallica running through my head. Thank God.
Yeah, the little guy's getting ready to cut his hair for JRTC.
Well, it's bound to happen.
I know. I'm gonna be like, okay, well now I can part my hair on the side, steal his haircut.
God, who sings that song? Sorry.
What song? Oh, Move Along?
Yeah.
Oh. You know what? Let me look it up. Let me look it up.
I think it's from the same people who sing I'm paranoid. I can see the name of the band. Days gone. Days.
Okay, Nathan, do you know what I'm talking about? The Bionicle Move Along video?
It's not that one.
All American Rejects.
No, really?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Type in Bionicle.
Yeah.
Move Along.
Yeah, there it is.
And the character that's surfing on the lava. That was my son's. That was my son's. Favorite thing as a kid, and I got to admit, the lava surfing is freaking epic. Even now,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to the song when we get off. I don't want you to play A because you'll get in trouble with YouTube, and B, no one needs to hear that song right before they go to bed. All American Rejects. They had a couple songs on there that I really like. Dirty Little Secrets, I'll Give You Hell. This one, yeah, it was a good band for the early 2000s, mid to late 2000s.
The video is 2007 that I'm looking at, but it was before he was born, and we discovered Bionicle after we had discovered Lego Hero Factory, which was just, we had so much fun when he was a little kid, because I was with him all day, and we played with his Legos and build robots and all day long, and it was an amazing time to be a dad. I mean, every day is amazing, but it was just,
I get
just a little guy, not smart mouthing off to me, and just looking up to me and everything. It was special.
My daughter Let's see, my daughter's turning 12 this Wednesday, and I keep threatening her that she kid's any taller, I'm going to put a brick on her head. You know, the things we were told when we were kids. And I told her she could only start dating after she got married. And she looks at me and she's like, "That logic doesn't work, Dad. I'll never get married." I'm like, "I know. It'd be great. Send your ass to the nunnery."
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Oh, she's my daughter. I know. I know. She's my daughter. I'm screwed.
Yeah, I had Lincoln Logs too, and Tinker Toys, and Legos.
I had Lincoln Logs. I had Lincoln Logs. I had Legos.
I think Tinker Toy were my first though.
And
all I ever made were bow and arrows.
My grandpa was always a big cigar guy. That's kind of where I think that's how I got into him, because of my grandfather. And I always take those Lincoln Logs, the not the 3 slot, but the 2 slot, because they were just, smart person, and I always stuck them in my head, my mouth, because they look like a cigar. To imitate my grandpa, but yeah, that was forever ago. And tell you what, when you open up your game shop, let me know. I'll go work for you for a while until I can save enough money to build on a cigar shop right next to the game shop. Well, just make sure the vents go one direction, not that direction.
Yeah. You catch my store on fire, and I'll have your ass in the sling. These cigars are replaceable. I got shit that's one of a kind.
That is true.
And I do plan on finding a shop somewhere where I can live upstairs. That way, I'm always there. If I can't do that, I won't even open the building. I won't even open the store until I can find a shop that literally has 2 or 3 bedrooms upstairs. Or if Jackie's moved away, then just, 1 bedroom and a kitchen, that whole bit. Because I've got... There are very few rooms in the house that don't have my stuff in it, and I've got 10 Kickstarters that equate to about 5 cubic meters worth of plastic coming.
Oh my God, I don't know what it was, but I was working at this game shop. Yes, I was working there still, and the guy had his glue, super glue or something, and a can of primer. I don't know what happened, but it got too hot, and that corner of the store caught on fire. And they're thinking it was something to do with the paint and the super glue and the heat. And it was just weird. I don't know. I'm tired, and I have to get hold of. I would have to get hold of him to get the story out of it. But it was really a weird scenario.
I had the smash up derbies. I remember those. And the SST racers. You guys remember those? The Evil Knievel toys. Yeah, I got pretty lucky.
Yeah, no, the Babylon 5 remake got shit canned, I thought. I could be wrong, but I was pretty sure it got canceled.
I hope so. Even though J. Michael Straczynski's working on it.
Add heat, pressure, then sometimes leaks, and boom. Okay.
Oh yeah, not only that, the flame, the fumes can mess up your eyes without fire. We found that out. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And the weird thing too is I make a lot of things out of dried baby wipes. I use that to facilitate or make cloth on miniatures, like this guy right here. I'll bring him out again. This Cthulhu statue I made from the King in Yellow Haster. All of it's made out of dry baby wipes to make it look like
texture.
It's cloth, but the baby wipes you dry them and then you put them in a mixture of white glue and water, and then it stiffens them. But sometimes I'll use super glue to glue them to the armatures underneath. Well, when you add super glue to baby wipes, they start like smoking. It's like this chemical reaction, sort of vapor, sort of crap and heat that literally come off when you mix the two ingredients. It's really, really weird. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. It came out way better than I expected. But this whole thing cost me less than $5 in materials.
Hey, I am going to have to bounce. I still need to eat something before I pass out.
Yeah, I gotta get up and make breakfast, and then I'll see you in freaking
12 hours.
Basically.
Yeah. It's almost like we do this as a
Thanks,
job.
Leslie.
But
yeah, it was really easy. It just it's like all things. If you know what you're doing, it's easy. You know.
Right. So for all those who are still with us, my name is Colin the Cigar DM. Please come follow me at the Cigar DM. You'll see more videos with that guy. I have a show with him every Sunday. Him and Jack. Yeah, and
just point the opposite direction.
Yeah, I know it's weird. It's because no, I'm pointing to my couch. No, you're pointing to yeah. It's just weird. But come give me a like and a follow, and you'll see more of this guy with me. And that'd be 3 chat. Every other Saturday, I did one today. I won't do one next Saturday, but the Saturday after that, I will have conversations with vets that I know about RPG, how they play them, if they played them while they were in the service, and do they still play them now they're out in the civilian world. And so far, I'm on episode 3 of that. Bruce was on today, and not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, we'll be doing a part 2 with him, talking about some more of his gaming experience. And that's really what I got going on. Because if you see me on YouTube and I'm not with this guy, it's interviewing a vet. That's kind of how it breaks down to anymore. Bodies 2 core space playthrough. What?
Oh, he's gonna play some core space.
Oh, okay.
And how would running a game shop go if our generation's too old to go to a game shop? Uber or carpool? That's what we're gonna have to do when we get older.
Yeah.
Or we'll just get robot legs or something. I don't know.
Oh.
Android powered wheelchairs, something. We'll make it.
Where's my flying car? I mean, the Jetsons were supposed to be this time period, wasn't it? I don't know. Oh, did you watch the Jetsons?
Of course I did.
So there's this fun theory that when they met the Flintstones, they weren't actually going back in time.
They're going to the future.
No. They were just going to the ground where Earth was, because they lived up there in the clouds. And when they went, the Flintstones, because there's no reason why the Flintstones would have TV or even know what the TV was, Christmas, and a few other things. So it was a apocalyptic. Flintstones was an apocalyptic world. And I'm like, that kind of tracks.
Hey, before we go, Nathan, have you seen the Jetson flying car? They're like 50, 60 grand, and you could have a flying car. It's not very big. It's basically, imagine a very large drone that you sit in. It's got 4 propellers on either side, 2 and 2. And yeah, you fly in it.
I'm sure there's a weight limit, and my fat ass is too heavy for it. God, how would you? Is it electric?
I don't know. I assume so.
Because I could just, like, hypothetically, I buy one and I decide to go down to Tennessee. Do I just fly my happy ass to Tennessee? And if it's electric, do I just pull up to electric, come, land? Oh my God. That'd be kind of fun, though.
Just look up Jetson, not the
Yeah,
Jetson,
yeah.
just without the S at the end, and you'll see it. And if they're that price now, or a year ago, they're probably more expensive, but eventually that price will come down, and eventually it will be as common as ATVs. So I'm guessing that about yeah, kind of. But I'm bound and determined to get one, and I hate flying. But if I'm driving or piloting it, I could get behind that whole idea.
Man, my stepdad was always of the opinion if God wanted us to fly, he would have gave us wings. He drove everywhere, drove or train, and he would refuse to fly. Still refuses to fly.
I've been in a plane twice, but never flown. I've been in the Ronald Reagan's airplane at the museum, and I helped my mom get into her seat because she's in a wheelchair for her to go fly once, and that's it.
Oh, I've flown a few different times. It's not like everything else. If it's your time, it's your time. Nothing's going to stop it.
Yeah. But I can prevent it if I don't go in an airplane. I won't die that way. That's my problem.
But you can get in a car or ride your bike and still, come to the same sticky end.
Right, but here's the thing with an airplane.
Yeah.
Unless the airplane is flying and explodes, you're going to die.
Yeah. that's
I don't want to go through that. When I go, I want it to be like dead. Not we might die, the airplane's going down into the ocean, we might die.
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm lucky, I'll die in my sleep. But do I look like a very lucky guy?
I'm thinking about it, Hellsent. I've got a lot of ideas for my store, including in gaming, regular gaming, tables and other stuff. But it's a little ways off. Here in California, it's just impossible. There's no customers, and the taxes are too damn high.
That's more than fair.
But I'm gonna let you guys go because I got to use the little Dungeon Master's room, and yeah, exactly. Hell, you get it. But you guys have been great. It's been a absolutely stellar time talking to all of you guys, and each and every one of you, just reach out to me one way or the other, and we'll find a time where we can meet kind of in person like this. Because as you saw, we could have 4, 5, 6 people without it getting too janky. And I like it at 4, but we'll see how it works. So everybody have a great weekend. Have some Mexican food. Yeah, Nathan, this was really a night to remember. I know I say that every once in a while, but this one was one of the great ones. And
go be like Shauner. Go eat some tacos.
I'm gonna probably have chocolate ice cream. I found that eating chocolate before bedtime gives you very incredible.
Oh, you said chocolate before ice cream. I thought you said I'm going to eat tacos before at bedtime. Like, no. That's a bad idea. Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Have a great weekend.
Oh, no. Shadow. Well, I guess it's the Kano show now because he didn't do it right. So how's everybody doing? Yeah, Nathan, I'm glad that you enjoyed the show. I'm gonna have to send him a Facebook. That's right, Shadow. I'm keeping your friends company. Unfortunately, I can't push the button for you.
That's one for the record books, man. That's gonna be funny as hell when people watch it. That's one for the record books, man. That's gonna be funny as hell when people watch it. All right, guys. This one's for the record books. Good night, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye.